Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is finally that time. It is the season finale for the Xbox side for ESFL. Welcome to ESFL 173 again for the Xbox side. I am your host and commentator for today's card, Kingsley, and alongside me is the one, the only. It's been a while since he's been here, but he's finally back in. Satch, how you doing today, man?
Oh man, I'm just excited for a good round of fights. We got a lot of guys in here. I'm excited to see how they perform. A big event leading up to our fights tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge amount of stakes on the line as we take a look at the fight card here for 173. This is shaping up to probably be one of our best cards in a while, especially for our finale. We have EK Mixups going against BFAP Trickzzy, which is an amazing main event. The co-main, EK Warrior versus DirtyDave, a rematch, a redemption arc for DirtyDave if he's able to get that victory. Dex versus EasyWork, Intro versus Webcam, Ozzy Kid versus Panda, all down the card. So many amazing fights. Sats, when you take a look at this card, we know that Fatinator is the champion. He won the Xbox title this season, but there's so many stakes. What fights are you looking forward to show up in the season finale?
I mean, you gotta look towards the main event. This whole season we've been looking for the guy who can defeat Fatinator. He's been so dominant, and both of these guys, they're looking for. They have a long history with Fatinator, so Mix-Ups and Trixie gonna be a banger. Outside of that, I'm very excited to see JC21 return. He hasn't fought in quite some time. I've always been a favorite of his. Watching his style of play, so we'll have to see how these matches turn out.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, even though the title is not on the line, there could be so many huge implications. The boiler bonus is on the line. There's also so many things that could be happening in the future. We're going to have another season. 175 is around the corner along with the PlayStation finale. So a lot of things, if you have that one special performance, could be a huge get-go and a heap of momentum for your side. So with all these cards, 12 amazing cards, especially in our main event, which is going to be amazing. You have to tune in for that later, but we're live on Twitch and on YouTube. And we have to get started with our first fight because our first fight is ready to go. Get your predictions in the Twitch chat if you think if Benjammy is going against Viper KO TTV, who are both 0-2, but looking for their first win here, Satch.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to look at this fight and kind of discard it. So these are two guys that haven't won a fight yet. One of them got to win tonight, and more than likely the loser will not be coming back for next season. So, the stakes are so high for this matchup. These guys are going to put everything out on the line.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a better way to do it in the middleweight division. Dracus Duplessis, who had a monster night last night against Ozzy, going against Robert Whitaker, which could be a future matchup that we see in real life UFC, but we're seeing it in the first prelim fight of the ESFL 173, which is sure to be a bit of a banger, and already we're getting to see that Herb Dean is getting ready for this fight. Let's see how this all goes down. Again, I want to say Benjammy is in the green trunks using Duplessis, and Whitaker is being used by Viper in the black trunks and the blue gloves, and already a little bit more pressure that we're seeing from Viper, getting a nice 1-2 and back his opponent down right here, Satch.
Yeah, this is an interesting pick, Robert Whitaker in UFC 4. He was the most popular pick in the middleweight division. Now, he's got the chin reduction, so he's not as strong, so he's going to have to really bring it to Duplessis and stay vigilant in the pocket to get this victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Use the slips. Use all the tools in your tool book to actually get the combinations to get strikes. Because uppercuts like that, you can see the damaging, punishing shots from Viper. But good slip away from Benjammy. Benjammy trying to be a little bit of a counterpuncher, but can't take many shots like that as he's getting hit with barrage after barrage, but able to enter back a little bit with some uppercuts.
I mean, this is a back and forth fight to start, but Viper is definitely looking like he's got Benjammy's number out here. I'm seeing the slips, the punches to the body, the head movement. Everything's great right now for Viper. I think if I'm Benjammy, I want to change how I'm fighting, try and bring him to the ground or fight at a farther away distance.
Yeah, you can see the slips. It's always been the pull away that he's usually slipping. And he's getting punished into the body, and maybe that delay reaction, but a nice 1-2 with an uppercut landing for Benjammy. That will give him some momentum, but every time he tries to start his reaction, he gets an equal reaction from Viper, and he's still pressuring forward, get a nice pull into an uppercut, and now it's just all his rhythm, but he gets taken down to the half guard.
Yep, that's a smart takedown by Benjammy. This round's still young, but on the feet. He's had some moments, but overall was controlled by Whitaker at the start of that round. So smart decision here. Maybe he can win the round, stay on top.
Yeah, he still has plenty of time to do it with two 12 left in the first round, going to another half guard position, trying to go full mark, but gets anti-transitioned by Viper. Viper doing a nice job in the bottom game, even though he had so much success in the stand-up game. It's very encouraging to see that he can deny these transitions in the bottom game, but needs to watch out here because Benjammy's still creeping forward into side control.
And you know, at the start there, they're going for these big transitions. They're just feeling each other out in the ground. You know, the ground game is a chess match when you're playing this video game. So sometimes you just throw in that mount and just to see if this guy's going to deny it, if he tries the first time, or how long it takes for him to deny it. You know, really setting up for the future rounds here.
Yeah, you don't want to play checkers in a chess game of the ground game. And so far, Benjammy still taking the head lead, gets a nice denial, trying to work at the posture out, but gets flipped over into side control with less than a minute left in the first round. Viper still trying to find his way, trying to find his good striking match with his good grappling. Let's see if he can do it. But Benjammy trying to find his way, gets a nice posture opportunity, gets some good combinations, but that is a good start for him in the ground game.
Yeah, I mean, Duplessis definitely hasn't landed too many huge shots on the ground here, but this control is going to be huge for him. As a judge, I don't know what way I would go in this round. You know, Whitaker had the advantage on the feet, but Duplessis with 2.5 minutes of control time, this can go either way.
Yeah, it could go either way, but we have to go to the fact that as it's the end of the first round right here, it was just the nonstop pressure of Viper, able to get the 1-2. Every time he saw his opponent pull back, it was to the body. He got the body shots. If you take a look at the replay right there, uppercuts like that were landing so successfully for Viper, while Benjammy on his side getting uppercuts, but still was like getting hit way too much for liking as we go in the second round here, Satch.
Yeah, and you know, I was kind of, you know, talking down on Duplessis. Duplessis had some moments on the feet, don't get me wrong, but he was definitely more dominant on the ground here. And so I think he should look to try and get the fight, you know, look for a quick level change and, you know, control Whitaker.
Yeah, let's see if he gets the opportunity, because right now we see it like we saw in the first round. Non-stop pressure from Viper. Even though he's getting traded, he knows that Whitaker still has the stamina. But there we go, the takedown, just as Satch called it. He needed to go to it. He got straight into it, and this is where he needs to do his work.
I mean, are we sure Benjammy is not listening to this stream right now? I think he might be listening to the coach in the corner over here. But here we go, get a nice reversal from Whitaker, and that can change this ground game. This first time we'll see Whitaker on top.
Yeah, and this is what Benjammy absolutely doesn't want. He doesn't want, but hey, he gets an instant reversal. He gets flipped around, and now this is his chance. Will he stay in the ground game? Will he try to go to posture out? He was able to get full mount in the first round. Can he go for it again and land some like constructive shots? Because side control here, elbows, that will pay dividends in the judges' scorecard.
And you know what? One thing I noticed there, the quick time that Benjammy's on the ground, he fought and fought and fought to get out of that position. You know, a lot of guys will settle in full guard, wait a little bit. These elbows are just flying down. But, you know, that's what makes great grapplers, the difference between a great grappler and a good grappler. He's not going to accept bottom position. He got right the reversal, and now he's dominating again on the ground.
Yeah, not being reactive, but proactive with his reversals and his striking. And so far, with all this control, we saw him not really be comfortable in striking game, but in the second round, just dominating in the ground game, getting little pop shots, getting those elbows in side control. Everything of it is scoring, and he's not really using much stamina, which you would like to see. He's getting into these positions without any transition denials.
And you know, there are two types of grapplers. There are other guys that want to get on top of you and they will destroy you, and there are other guys that I compare to a wet blanket. You just can't get them off you, and it seems like every move that Whitaker's making right now, Duplessis is just a step ahead, and this is not where you want to be. He is bottom down, starfish position, and Duplessis is going to fire away some strikes. You have a great defense there from Whitaker.
Yeah, he's trying to tell Benjamin to hit the showers and not be that wet blanket, because right now he wants to put this fighter away and score points as much as possible, but he used a lot of his stamina, even though it's fairly into Viper's advantage. Him taking his time, maybe Herb Dane will stand him back up, which would be like advantageous for Viper, but Benjamin doing an action, trying to disrupt that timer in the ref count.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of people, if you play this game a lot. Here's the submission though, going for the rear naked choke, and this is one of the most dangerous positions to be in. He's going to try and cinch it in here, but it gets denied. Great defense there by Whitaker so far on the ground.
Amazing defense with 30 seconds left to go in the second round, trying to get it, but a good reversal from Viper, and that's what he needs to do. Go back to the stand-out, make your opponent stand back up and strike with him, but with 10 seconds, might be end of the round. And the third round, now it gets a little bit more interesting. We could be approaching 1-1 going to the third and final round here.
Yeah, it could be 1-1, it could be 2-0. We don't know. If I'm Robert Whitaker, I'm dying on my shield this round. I don't want the fight to go to judge's scorecard because I'm not confident I won that first round. I just did a quick check at the stats. Whitaker did have the striking advantage in that round, but it could go either way. Both of these guys should go out there and prove that they win this fight.
Yeah, you have to leave no doubt. We saw how questionable the judging could be last night. You don't want to have it in a video game. You want to have it in your hands, on your sticks, and ready to go. As we're taking a little bit as we go into the third and final round. Again, this is our first fight of ESFL 173, the season finale for the Xbox side, and already into an ankle pick, gets denied. But Viper is learning from his capabilities of denying the takedowns. But right now, he's back into striking, trying to slip his way, trying to find that uppercut, but not able to land. But still, that's the pressure that Viper wanted to use in the first round.
And Duplessis did a great job of sneaking in those takedowns, coming out the rip and shooting a takedown. You know, very easy to deny. Whitaker knows that's what he wants. So I want to see Duplessis, you know, just set up the takedown with his hands.
We'll see the patient pressure of Viper, still crawling forward, still using those 1 and 2s. Try to disrupt the block gauge of Benjammy, but Benjammy slipping to the wrong way, gets hit with a left hook. Still needs to approach forward, but gets a nice right hook of his choice. Benjammy's coming out, and now he's being there aggressive. He's making that head health blink a little bit.
Oh, and you gotta take these risks with your Viper. Like I said, you think you're losing this fight. You know, he's going for the 1-2 head kick. He's going for these big hooks, these pullbacks. You gotta do everything that you have in your tool bag to try and get the finish here, or at least try and get a big moment in the round. And these guys are going back and forth, throwing the kitchen sink at him.
Yeah, they know how precious this win could be in their ESFL careers, as a takedown gets denied again. The second takedown denial of this third and final round. The slip doesn't really get the full connection with the strike after it. Viper still pressing forward, tries to go for a body uppercut, almost leaves himself open, but now he's firing back with all the stamina he has. Benjammy with his back to the corner, 0-2, trying to find his first win, but Viper is coming back with a vengeance.
I mean, these guys are swinging back and forth. This is exactly the kind of fight you want to see to open up the cards here. Robert Whitaker and Duplessis are both taking risks here, trying to get the knockout punch, and these hooks are just... Oh! Drops him down!
Drops him down with a key timed uppercut when he was slipping down, and now it's up to Viper. Can he find his way to get his lick back? Can he find a way to get a knockdown with 150 left? Benjammy's black ace is low. After 1 or 2 punches, that black ace is already depleted, and the slipping working for Benjammy as he gets the takedown.
There you go. He needed to slow this fight down. Duplessis is clearly in the driver's seat right now. He just has to hold him down. You know, if Whitaker can get back to his feet, he's got to start throwing overhands, uppercuts. You got to take these shots because this is likely your last chance to prove why you deserve to be in the ESFL next season.
And man, Viper did a big risk trying to get out of there, but he gets a bunch of elbows for his trouble into the full mount. Benjammy says this isn't just a kickboxing match. This is mixed martial arts. You have to be good in stand-up and in the ground game. And with 40 seconds left, trying to ride home into a victory, but gets denied from the left hook right there, Satch.
30 seconds. He's got a chance here, but you got to die on your shield. Flying knee. That's the kind of actions we need to see from Whitaker.
He's going for it. Both stamina's being depleted. Everyone's throwing the kitchen sink. That's the slip into the right hook landing. Both guys going for it. 8 seconds left. The slips, the body uppercuts, landed into an elbow. Benjammy gets the victory.
Oh my goodness, just when you thought this fight couldn't get better with 1 second on the clock, Duplessis with the huge KO there, and he's going to finish the season 1 and 2, and you know what? That is not half bad.
I think he's been watching the Olympics, because I feel like he did like a little bit of this. He was like 1 second left, night, it's done. Just shoot his 3-point shot and got the KO victory. I mean, if you're like, just imagine what Benjammy was going through. First round, he was getting punched around, he was getting pressured, but then once he found his ground game success, that led into the striking success. And when you start going that desperation in the third and final round, that one key elbow when your guy is slipping, that leads to a knockout, and that's what you love to see in fantastic finishes.
And the whole time we were talking about what are the judges' scorecards going to read. You know, he just said we're not going to need to read them. I'm going to go out here and finish this fight. So that was a great finish and a great fight all around from those two warriors.
So if you guys are just tuning in to the ESFL right now, where have you been? This is the Xbox season finale, ESFL 173. I am hosting commentator Kingsley. Alongside me is Satsmo. We have been having an excellent time, and it's only been the first fight. We still got plenty of more fights to go here live on Twitch and on YouTube. Be sure to sign up to the Discord and also just participate in the chat, because we got another banger fight for you guys, which you can put your predictions down. It's going to be B3 Maximus going against Mtowens Finest, which should be another amazing one. Sats, on the scouting report, what do we have in this lightweight bout?
I mean, if we're just looking at the fighters that are being chosen here, we got Brandon Moreno and Alexandre Pantoja. These two guys, you know, Pantoja's more going to be the ground game, you know, the jiu-jitsu style fighter, and you got Moreno, who is just devastating on his feet. You know, when we look at the two fighters, though, we got Maximus, we got Mtowens. Mtowens Finest is, you know, I've played him many times in UFC 4 and a few times in UFC 5. He's a fantastic fighter. You know, 1-1 doesn't really show his strength. He's really a championship contending type fighter. And in the corner with Maximus, you know, he's trying to prove himself. He's been the champion in a couple different leagues around, not in the ESFL, but around the ESFL. And so he's trying to prove his name with a big win over Mtowens.
Yeah, let's see if the name could be proven to be up in the spotlights, because we're in the second fight right here. As we said, Maximus in the red trunks, using Brandon Moreno, and Mtowens Finest in the black trunks, uses Pantoja. And right now, different kind of pace than what we've seen, more in the center of the octagon. Both guys going for pressure. As we see a nice trip up for Maximus, able to get the side saddle, and now he can do his work.
And that move was very reminiscent of UFC 3. The quick clinch with the takedown, and right away going for an arm triangle submission. This is not what you see often in these fights, but he's going right for it.
And already, and halfway through that submission part, able to get it nicely. Maximus is not playing around. He is not here for a long time, but a fun knockout submission time, because right now, into full mount, he could posture out. He could go for another submission opportunity. If he's able to get it that quickly, that has to scare Mtowens Finest a little bit.
I mean, yeah, one more chance, he's probably out of there. Pantoja's more known for his jiu-jitsu skills in the real world, but, you know, right here, not starting off too strong with that deep submission, you know, it was a desperate escape from the arm triangle, and if it happens again, this fight could be over quick.
Yeah, and he has to survive for 3 more minutes into the side control. We see Maximus just finding his way, trying to goad his opponent into making a mistake in the chess game that we're seeing right now. But into the sprawl position, Mtowens Finest staying patient, letting his buddy get popped up with a little bit of shots. But halfway through, you have to think, this is the best case scenario to be in a position, but now he gets put in the backside.
I think Mtowens is realizing right now that he is not the level of grappler that Maxi is, and he's trying to survive, and he's trying to wait to hear that bell so he can try again in the second round, not get taken down so quickly, because, I mean, this is very dominant. You know, I compared last fight, we saw the wet blanket versus the dominator. This guy wants to dominate. He wants to finish, and we're seeing that very aggressive with Brandon Moreno on the ground.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if he's able to do it. Again, back into the half mount. Second time he's been in this position in this first round. He gets denied again. Mtowens Finest trying to fight his way back, not able to get the straight up get up. Maximus is too clean with the transition denials as he goes back to the posture up, working on his punches, left, right, all working, just disrupting that black gaze one after another.
And when you see guys go for the get up from full mount, that is a bit of a desperation move. You know, that's not something you really want to go for right out the gates and posture it up again. Moreno swinging away, but Pantoja's doing solid to defend himself. Not anymore. This is almost over.
It is almost over. You can see that screen turning red because they're seeing blood in the eyes of Pantoja. But here we go, submission attempt. He was just going for it, and I was wondering if the punches were getting through because he was so worried about the striking. But that will be it. The submission victory for B3 Maximus.
I mean, the B3 guys are typically known, you know, bang, bang, bang. They're trying to, you know, light you up on the feet. But this time we see the grappling as the main component there. I mean, he was so dominant in that fight. It reminds me of a young DirrtyDave.
A young DirrtyDave. I mean, when you're getting a compliment like that, I mean, you have to show up to show out. And that's what he did. In the first round, 41 total strikes to 9. 9 total strikes from Mtowens Finest. They didn't even really get a chance to get his rhythm going, and that's just deflating because with the top mounts into the side saddle, and then you're already letting up a submission. That has to be like what goes into the psyche when you're in either position in a fight like that.
Yeah, you know, as a fighter, you know, when I used to fight in the ESFL, you know, so you can take a knockout loss. You can say, well, he got lucky, you know, the game's fluky. When you just get dominated on the ground, you really take a break from the game. You're like, man, what can I do to stop that train from running me over? You know, you got to really get in the gym and work on, you know, your grappling just to compete with some of these guys. These are the highest level of UFC fighters, and that was proven today.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why you like go into the camps, right? That's why you see an EK. That's why you see a BFAP That's why you see all these like people who have like initials along with their names, because you have to lab to be in this type of caliber of the ESFL atop this competition, because everyone knows everybody's moves. Everyone has know the data points of the frame data, and like watches Kretz, watches Romero, watches all the creators that we saw, even Marshall Mine. They have got the strategies that they want to implement. And when you're going to like a fight, especially because they're both 1-1, we're in the season finale, and you have to think like this has to give you momentum going to like future seasons. Like, okay, I show what I can do, but can I take that next level with a performance?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it right in the nose there. You know, the Kingsmen have been a great camp for a long time. And you know, I think Mtowens a great fighter. I just think he wasn't quite prepared for this matchup. I'm sure he'll come back stronger than ever. Yeah,
absolutely. And hopefully we'll get to see more, because again, this has been the Xbox season finale. We've been having such a great time throughout this whole season. If you guys have missed out of any event, be sure to check up our YouTube. We have our whole catalog, our whole library of the season, where we saw Fatinator go on a magnificent run on the Xbox side. PlayStation been toss and turn of like who's going to be the leading go-getter of getting the title. That's all been settled, but it's been such an amazing time. Sats, when we think about the season, how would you grade this season? We had the team season, we had the back to individual season. What type of, does this feel like this has been a great season for you so far?
Yeah, you know, the team season was fun. I competed in that. I always preferred the individualistic, though. At the end of the day, fighting is a, you know, one-on-one sport, and I like keeping it that way. Now, I can be biased here. I loved season, whenever UFC 4, the first season UFC 4, when I was a competitor. But from an objective standpoint, I mean, it just seems every year the competitors are getting better and better. And, you know, these older guys are having a hard time keeping up the guard. They have to, you know, old dogs that learn some new tricks to stay on top. And a guy like Fatinator has done that so well. You know, when I first matched up against Fatinator back in prime time, you know, I considered him to be a great fighter, but his game has just developed so much. I mean, he reminded me originally of a Bang Bang, and now he's got the full bag. I mean, dominated, you know, his matches with Trixie, who I thought was the best fighter in the game, and I mean, he's just unstoppable right now. I don't see anyone that's going to be able to dethrone him.
Hey, we'll have to see. I mean, maybe in the future plans, we might see someone who could possibly do. There might be some future matchups in the lookout. But now, speaking of, because we now talked about it, let's talk about this current matchup. Our third fight of ESFL 173 is going to be Envy Ginga, who is 3-3, going against JC21. Since you talked about him, who is 2-3. What are you looking for in the heavyweight division, especially with the scouting report of these two fighters coming in?
I mean, JC21, he's always been a personal favorite of mine. I love watching him fight. And he's a fan favorite. He will do whatever the fans want. As you see the Derek Lewis pick, he's notorious for this. He used to stay back in the day. He will take anyone and anyone anywhere as long as it's heavyweight and he gets Derek Lewis. I mean, he's a fantastic Derek Lewis fighter, and it really matches his style. You know, the big punches, you know, he literally looks for that one knockout strike. And you're going against a guy like Fedor Emelianenko, can really do it all. So, you know, I'd like to see JC21 pull this out, but Ginga is a very strong opponent in his own right, so we'll have to see this one plays out.
Yeah, make sure you get your predictions in, because I don't think this fight's going to last any long. Maybe we'll get another side prediction of seeing, like, how this fight goes down. Is it uppercut? Is it head kick? Is it flying knee? Or is it a straight-up submission? We will find out, because, again, Ginga is using Fedor in the blue, actually in the black trunks, and then JC21 uses Derek Lewis in the red trunks. That's how you differentiate, because they have both blue gloves. So that'll be tough. Right now,
oh my Lord!
Overhand. JC says, you know what? Let's just wrap it up. But now he needs to be very careful, because Fedor, he has some hands on him. And right now, they're just saying, stay in the center of the octagon. Let's just go for a brawl.
Yeah, you know, the start of the fight, Derek Lewis backed up the corner. I thought he was trying to do like a role play there, what he did in the Surreal Dawn fight. I was getting a little worried for him, but that big overhand definitely shocked Fedor. And now Derek Lewis, you know, he's the baddest blue belt in Texas, and he's proven why right now.
Yeah, I was surprised that he went down for a second to go into the ground game, but he automatically said, you know what, I'm going to go standing back up. I have that overhand. Oh my goodness, but the timing of the head kick from Ginga will get the rock back, and already 2 rocks, and we're not even past the halfway point in the first round, and it's just been a slower pace, especially with the heavyweights, but the striking has been impactful, has been powerful, and the uppercuts from JC have been connecting.
I mean, oh my Lord, he's striking from everywhere. But JC, you know, you cannot doubt the survivability of this man. You can rock him, you can kill him, but that man's still going to be moving his head, and he's going to be surviving.
Oh, and JC tried to go for a flying knee, but not exactly in the right amount of range that you need to connect with that. But
Yeah.
that has to be another in his arsenal. Trying to go for overhand, not able to connect. He's just trying to goad his opponent in, trying to get some striking, but Ginga getting it, and another head kick. He is seeing his opponent move to the right and sees an opening because he has his block very much low right there.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps dropping his hands. He's expecting a body kick because, you know, just the way that it's thrown, a big overhand misses. You know, JC's taking a lot of risks, a lot of chances, and sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't, but man, are we going to see a second round here? The fact that we had rocks after rocks, I thought we were not even going to attempt this fight, but it seems like the way they're fighting, it might be a little bit more of a fight than we saw before.
I mean, these two guys have incredible chins, and that's the only reason any of them are still standing. That starting overhand from Derek Lewis could have knocked them out right there. These two head kicks could have been over, but these guys just keep fighting. They keep surviving, and, you know, we might see a second round, which I would not have guessed. 2 front kicks in a row. JC's finding his groove.
This guy is playing with reckless abandonment. He gets recklessly knocked down by Ginga, saying, all right, playtime's over. I'm going to side control, and now you're back into my world. But with 35 seconds left, JC could survive this and then possibly go back to a stand-up because the head kicks, the overhands have been working for both of these fighters. But now the ground kick, and look at the body. Just even in this non-postural position in sprawl, that body is depleted and he's losing so much stamina there, Satch.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people back in the day, people like to sit in that position and wait for the stand-up, but it's getting harder and harder. That body damage is increasing. And, you know, a guy like Derek Lewis, he got a big old belly. There's a lot to hit, so the stamina goes down quick for him.
Yeah, and we'll have to see it as a nice shoulder sport, nice striking. Both guys trying to compliment each other while we're taking a look at the screen. 56-18 in total strikes. My Lord. Just Derek Lewis in Derek Lewis fashion, going for home run hits, but now he's getting batted by 1,000 by Ginga as he is approaching forward. He's trying to go his opponent. Maybe the head kick will be in play. He just needs his opponent to go to the right. Front kick missing again, and the striking landing for Ginga as the body, the head, everything's hurting for him. And just a strike. The hit detection says, all right, the fight's over there as we see the victory for Ginga.
And you know what won that fight was that body. I couldn't tell if that was Ginga or Prioxis in the ring right there. I mean, he was body hunting right there. You know, JC is so effective with that head movement. You got to switch it up. And, yeah, that was the end of the fight. You know, you don't want to hit a man while he's down, but unless you're a cage fighter, because that is a knockout blow there. As he was falling, the right hand finished the fight.
Yeah, just mean. Just, like, one tapped him while he was, like, moving up, and he was able to let the hand up. It's like, oh, yeah, already won. Already touched him. He's done. It's over. But, man, I mean, good showing. It was violent, is what we want to see in a heavyweight contest. Pure violence, people going for crazy shots, and that's what you like to see in a prelim. Sometimes you get the technical, sometimes you get the ground game, sometimes it's just plain violence and they just want to go after it. I mean, that's what we love to see here, Sam.
Yeah, and JC21, I think his reputation almost precedes him in the fact that these fights, you know, he's known for putting on a show, so you want to put on a show. And we saw him go for those home run shots, and it landed early, but once Ginga was able to figure it out, I mean, it was, you know, a one-sided affair there. So maybe JC's got to go back to the technical skill that, you know, won him his championship.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, he'll still have another chance, maybe possibly in the next season. But this next matchup, speaking of violence, this next one might be a fun one again, as we're going to see Bone doing work, who is 1-3, going against S2 Basic. Both guys also 1-3, but someone trying to get a little bit more higher up, get a little bit closer to the 500 mark. What do we have on the scout report for both of these gentlemen here, Satch?
Yeah, you know, I've had some open dialogue with Bone doing work. This is not something that is unknown. I have a lot of experience with Bone. He's one of my first ever fights in UFC comp, so I do have a lot of respect for him, but, you know, a veteran of the game, but it really just seems like time is, you know, catching up with him. And, you know, he's really fighting for a chance to stay in the leagues, to keep his name out there. You know, a loss tonight, 1-4. You know, a guy that was 1-4 in the previous season. At some point, you know, Father Time catches up. So hopefully we can see, you know, a reinventiveness from him. Bone's always been great with the footwork. So I'd like to see him pick him on the outside and, you know, just try and stay out of that kill zone if he's fighting against Sean O'Malley here.
It seems like the pick will be Sean O'Malley, and then Corey Sandhagen. He's a killer himself, a kickboxer who knows what he can do. It's a fairly even matchup when it comes to striking, but this Bone doing work. We know that he's up for crazy fights. I remember losing my voice during one of his fights. So when you go to a Bone doing work fight, you don't know what to expect. Expect the unexpected. Yeah. Well, Basic, he is looking to bounce back. He is looking to get back in the winning column. Will he do it? We will find out. Get your predictions in as we're getting ready. As Bone Doing Work is using Corey Sandhagen in the green trunks, going against S2 Basic in the red trunks using Sugar Sean O'Malley. And already knees coming out from the woodwork for Bone Doing Work.
And yeah, Bone Doing Work, the Sean O'Malley pick is smart. You know, he's fighting, or this Corey Sandhagen is the fighter he's using. Corey Sandhagen is a very smart pick. He's very lengthy. Someone that can kind of match O'Malley on the outside, and that's what he needed. For Basic, I'll be honest, if you would have told me at the start of the year he was going to be 1-3, I wouldn't have believed you. He's a great fighter, and I think you know, he really needs this comeback win against Bone as a strong finish for the season.
And smart strategy from Bone Doing Work, trying to bring his opponents back to the cage, but not able to fully connect. As we see Basic, nice, able to circle around, get it back to the center of the octagon, but needs to watch out for those knees and body shots, because if you go too much headhunt, you will get caught, and you will be put into the back of the octagon once again. Is Bone Doing Work stay a little bit patient, using every arsenal that he can possibly use, while Sugar Sean O'Malley, Basic, still being a pressure fighter.
Yeah, and you know, everything I'm seeing from Bone right now is vertical. It's teep kicks, it's knees, it's jabs. Sean O'Malley really got to use that side step, and he's going to be able to get in the pocket and disrupt some of the motion, make Bone Doing Work do something else. Because right now, that's how he's beating him. It's just straight verticality.
Yeah, you can see that Basic is avoiding using the legs because he got caught so many times. He doesn't want to be put in that situation once again. So he's using a little bit more of his hands. But right now, see, he thought about it. That's one of those moves when you get caught so many times, it leads you open for one of those front kicks and a question mark kick. Come from Bone Doing Work, but needs to be careful of those trades because those will be punishing if you go against Basic.
Yeah, and I love the way Bone's tagging these combos together. It's a little staggered, so he's not going for the combo right away, but that really messes up with the opponent's head movement. You know, he's throwing a 1-2, waits a half second, and then throws the 3-4. You know, something like that is very refreshing to see. Very, you know, looks like an improvement in his game.
Yeah, and both guys going for the range. We saw that Basic got the benefit of that trade as he's just capitalizing on these little moments, right? Even though he's getting hit with that knee right there, it just seems like every time he's coming in, gets a right hook. Every time he's coming in, gets a straight. Goes in, just waits for that one strike. He gets hit with a front kick, but you'll take 3 trades out of 4 if possible for Basic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of offense, not a lot of defense. I've seen from both these guys. It's hard to tell who's winning because they're both using their face as a shield. You know, we got to get some hands up here and stop these offenses coming from these two guys. So I think whoever starts to get these slips going first is gonna win this fight.
Yeah, and we both saw them at first went Orthodox versus Southpaw. Now it's just Orthodox. So maybe that'll change up for Bone Doing Work, get more ability to get some striking going, but just playing a little bit more of a counterpuncher, trying to make sure he goes to his opponent and just working on that body. Look at those jabs, just sweet jabs, pausing the momentum of his opponent, and that seems to be his game plan.
It's just like right there, you know, Bone's doing a great job of getting inside and outside the pocket. This is what he was always good at, and I'd like to see him utilize that now. You know, he's blitzing in and stopping and getting out. And he's doing a good job managing range, using that jab and using the keeps. And it's hard to say he won that round. It was very close. I give the edge to Bone, but Sean O'Malley and Basic might have done a little more damage, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but both guys have damage. Both guys had positive momentum in both of the corners. As we take a look at the replay right here, just that one little teep kick will change how your opponent approaches you when you're going to the striking. As you see, most of the stats went in favor of Bone Doing Work, so they feel like he had the advantage in that whole round. But the kicks, the punches, and you see Sugar Sean O'Malley able to get the jab, but those hooks, those body shots are working for his benefit. So let's see if they can adapt in the second round.
Right, like I said, these guys both land a lot of good strikes. The stamina is about equal. The you know, the head and body health are going to be about equal. So it's just going to be about who can start defending themselves and start throwing you know, strong counter strikes. And I think that's going to win the fight here.
Yeah, and kudos for Basic for not abandoning the leg kicks, right? He's still attacking to the body. He's not landing the catches to sway him. And as soon as he tries to get taken down, he gets it nice and out. So already, this is what you like to see from Basic as he's turned out the pressure against Bone Doing Work.
And yeah, if we're gonna talk from a skill for skill basis, I think Basic's the stronger grappler. However, when using Sean O'Malley and Corey Sandhagen, I think it's about a wash. I'm not really expecting a lot of takedowns. I think that takedown for Bone was just more of a, you know, just trying to throw out something else, give him another look.
Yeah, we can see him use those slips a little bit more because he had 45% significant strikes on his caliber in his stats. But when you get taken down like that, you can throw that out of the window as Bone Doing Work. Going to the ground, going to the half guard, and let's see if he can take advantage of it, because this is an interesting strategy. Instead of being a counterpuncher here, he wants to take it to the ground.
Yeah, you know, like I was saying earlier, I think Sandhagen does have the better stats, but I think Basic might just be a slightly better player here on the ground. So, you know, I'm not expecting much here. And now Sean O'Malley reverses it, and you got to wonder if Bone Doing Work's happy with the decision to shoot those takedowns.
Yeah, we can see that Dr. Bag being orange on the upper right side for a Bone Doing Work. So he needs to be careful of how he's getting hit on his face, because there's going to be a cut on his face. But just the movement, good denials. That's what you want to see. And he's able to get straight back up. So let's see if he can turn it up. Maybe he uses those leg kicks. Maybe a front kick again to just change it up and make sure he gets that black ace a little bit low. But Basic still not backing down from the challenge.
Whew. And, you know, Bone Doing Work has been pretty effective on his feet. I think on the ground there, getting reverse so quick is probably going to dissuade him from shooting for another takedown. I think he should really just keep this on his feet and, you know, just try and pick him out. You don't need to go for the knockout shot, but these left hooks, these straights, they're finding the mark and they're doing damage.
And he's able to get the left hook for his troubles, along with the front kick again. Sandhagen, Bone Doing Work, able to use all that stamina and get the rock that he wanted. And hopefully, we're back into live action and we're seeing that he had a chance, but that little hesitation, maybe that could be a difference. Maybe Basic could find his way back into the momentum, because right now he's going for punches.
That was pretty smart by Bone. You know, he didn't go for the kill shot. He's already winning the fight more than likely on the scorecard, and he was out low on stamina. You know, when you're low on stamina, a guy like Sean O'Malley can slip a hook and knock you out real quick. So a pretty smart decision there not to just blitz in and to just try and get some body damage off and not necessarily go for the finish.
That goes for a nice chirp right there. Bone Doing Work able to capitalize and gets a nice denial into side control. Saw it coming, says Basic, you're gonna have to stay down on the bottom for a little bit longer while I punch you in the face as he gets the strikes, consecutive strikes to get the victory, as Bone Doing Work is now 2-3 in the season finale.
I mean, talk about an underdog finish. I'll be honest, going into this fight, I thought there was no way Bone Doing Work was going to get this win, but every single time you doubt the man, he comes back stronger than ever. Basic, very tough opponent, but Bone Doing Work really went back to what he was known for. That incredible footwork, the, you know, in and out the pocket, throwing the jab, just interrupting his opponent's strikes. It made Basic not be able to get into a rhythm, and I think that's what won him the fight there.
I mean, I was shocked. I thought we would see a little bit more blocking in that situation, because it seemed like he still had a chance, but you can see the nasty cash, and you could tell that maybe he didn't win the fight, but both guys were just so busted up that Bone Doing Work, he saw the advantage, he took the bigger risk, and he was able to capitalize, use the trips, use whatever he needed to do, the kicks, the striking, the ground game. He was able to get that victory. So kudos to him. He is 3-2 in the season, while Basic, unfortunately, is 1-4. And, you know, when we have to make season cuts, he might be a candidate. It's tough to see, but that's what's on the stake for all these gentlemen here, Sats. I mean, some people are going to be let go, some people are going to be moving forward, and there's still the boiler bonus that people are still looking out for.
Yeah, and, you know, that's part of the business, man. You know, if you can be a great fighter, you have a couple bad strings, you're back to the bottom, you know. You're out the league, and you got to work your way back into it. It doesn't mean your career is over. It just means for right now, you got to get back in the gym, sharpen your tools, and it gives you a little motivation to, you know, work on your game.
Absolutely, and hopefully these guys are coming up next can work on their game and give us an amazing performance, because right now it is Kante going against EK Euro, one of the EK guys, going into the bout. Is 2-3 going against 1-2. Both guys really want to get back into 500. Can they do it? Let's take a look at the scout report. Sats, what you got for us?
Yeah, you know, Jiro's one of the guys that I've always kept good touch with. You know, joined his parties, check in on him every once in a while. So I still know he is an animal in that ring. He's very hard to stop. His striking is always very solid. His grappling is all right, but his striking is really where he makes his money. And you know, going against a fighter like Kante, we'll just have to see how this one goes. You know, my money's on Jiro, but I'm already 0-1 on my picks tonight. So let's see if Kante can get the upset.
Will the streak continue, or will the curse be broken? We'll have to find out in this fifth fight of ESFL 173, and already a head kick. We're starting off with a head kick, so definitely a different pace than what we see. Kante using Alex Pereira, EK Euro using Izzy Adesanya with the nice trunks. Those amazing trunks.
Yeah, I was noticing that too.
Yeah, I was like, this is good. But right now, what's not nice for Euro is that he's getting pieced up with good combinations. That block gauge being low, but just 1, 2, 3. We saw that head gauge being very, very low, especially with not even 1 minute left through in that first round.
And Jiro, this is a confident pick for him to use Adesanya. Adesanya is one of the most difficult fighters to use in the game. Despite his great stats, just his length is a little weird. His moveset is unorthodox. So to pick a guy like this in this kind of position is, you know, a very brave pick. Kotan is a lot easier to use. He's got the power. He's going to swing in this pocket. So Adesany's really got to use that footwork. He can't just hang around in this pocket like he's doing right now. Because, you know, you play with fire, you will get burned. And trust me, Perea is that fire.
He is that fire, and hopefully this ends in 3 rounds instead of 5, because unfortunately they had the settings wrong. But we'll see how this whole thing goes down, and we'll let the people know in the back as our staff does an amazing job. But right now, what an amazing job by EK Euro, able to counter back from that front kick, able to do a bop, 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 and able to rock his opponent for a little bit. But now it's up to Kante. What can he do to respond? Because that was just quick as lightning from Mizzy.
And the only thing I can think about is precision beats power and timing beats speed. You know, as Perea was loading up a hook, he was able to launch in there at that straight and get the stun. So you need more of that. And Adesanya will have success in this fight.
Yeah, and this is where the distance, the range game could play an effect for EK Euro. He doesn't have the arms length, I think, but right now it's just the counter puncher from him has been pristine, able to get a nice straight for his troubles, able to get a rock for his troubles. But what can he do more? What can he compound with more success? Because right now the hooks, the 1-2s are working, but the blockades is low every time he trades in the pocket with Alex. That power will come into play, but uppercuts landing from Euro. Euro doing such a nice job in that pocket.
I mean, it looks like he's punching a speed bag right now. That 1-2 uppercuts coming in so quick. These combos from Euro are really just throwing Perea off his game. He's not able to block, not able to move his head, but that was the big stunt there from Alex Perea, and this fight just got real interesting.
Just little bits and pieces that set up that first rock for Kante. Kante saw his opening, and we know that he wants to go for big shots. He started out with a head kick. Maybe it goes after that again when he sees his opponent blockades low. Because one uppercut, that's what blockades is already halfway low. And with 45 seconds left in the first round, will he go for it again? He's trying to use the slip to use that as his entry point. While Euro playing a little bit of the counter puncher, trying to use that straight to disrupt the momentum. But the front kick actually lands. The blockade was low. The person is down. Kante trying to go for the kill with 20 seconds left. Will he land it? But no, gets away. Good blocking from Euro to at least mitigate the damage with 10 seconds left.
And I mean, this fight, I was about to say, Adesanya is just clocking him like clockwork. You know, 1-2 uppercut, 1-2 uppercut landed probably 10 times. Like, man, Adesanya's really piecing him up, but that's all it takes with a guy like Perea. He has like 100 punching power. This guy is an animal, so you give him one shot in the chin, and it could be night-night.
Yeah, I mean, you were so close to losing, and it's up to EK Euro. What can he do? What can he possibly adapt when he sees those strikes come to his face? This is his main... a little bit show respect, but he needs to be very careful. You have to protect yourself at all times, as Kante is not waiting for any sign of respect. He's trying to show some disrespect, especially with that vicious uppercut.
You know what the good Chael Sonnen always said, you know, you bow in Brazil, they might hit you over the head and steal your wallet. That's what it looked like Perea wanted to do right there. This is not the time to play. This is the time to fight. So hopefully Jiro doesn't make that mistake twice.
We see him try to go in the clinch, trying to make some new, trying to make him think of something new to catch up. Oh, that left hook could have been dangerous. Both guys trying to go for a clinch, able to get the left hook for Euro's troubles, but Euro standing around that control, trying to find his way into the fumble, gets a nice duck under, but not really capitalizing, still waiting for his opportunity, gets a nice straight, and gets a nice trade. Both guys are playing a little bit dangerous with that fire. The strikes could be hot and heavy, especially with the uppercut coming.
And, you know, I want to see Jiro mix up some more kicks in this game. When you're using Perea, that's one of your best advantages, is that long legs. I want to see some front kicks. Just get this pressure off of you. They're both going back and forth in the pocket, but it really seems like Perea is getting the best when he advances. So you need to, if I'm Adesanya, I want to be the one advancing, and if I'm not, I want to be able to push him away.
Yeah, but, you know, try to go for a takedown right there while you're Izzy. That's asking for a risky situation to go against Alex, who has been known to do everything in all abundance in around the mixed martial arts. So Kante still pressing forward, but gets knocked down. Staying close to the pocket, standing still will give you the faster animations, but it doesn't chop you from that as uppercuts coming back. Kante looking for the kill. Kante looking for the victory, but not able to get that final strike in. He is still alive. Euro still have his chance, and now both guys stand up. 2-3 left, but I don't think time is up for Kante as he gets taken down. Will Euro go for the kill shot? He's going for it. He's going for the pot drop, but not enough. So much action.
If I can promise you one thing, we won't need 5 rounds. These guys are going back and forth, rock 'em, sock 'em. I mean, I can't believe what I'm seeing. These guys, I mean, this is one of the greatest fights I've ever seen.
We'll have to see. Still 90 seconds left in the second round. Hopefully they can finish it in time. But right now, Kante There he goes, going back to stand-up. He feels confident of what he's going with the sweet science in his hands, but not able to get that slip uppercut landing. Euro taking his time, feeling the pressure, knows his blockade is low, trying to go on the offensive. Kante has his person at the back of the cage, but still moving back, trying to go in center. He's gonna hit out his blockade is low. 45 seconds left here, Satch.
I mean, if this fight does last,
Oh my
my goodness!
The
He got
man,
swept off his feet. I thought it was a
the
dancing move.
man did the Matrix. He thought he was Neo, and he lifted him up into the sky, reached for the sky, and it's Kante getting a 3-3 victory. Look at this again, pulling away, launch him into outer space to get the knockout victory.
My goodness. I mean, Adesanya's chest already looked like a canvas painted with blood. I mean, these guys are going back and forth. It was whoever landed the next big shot was going to finish it, and it just so happened it was Poton.
He just like played a music from Space Jam saying, I believe I can fly, but it was not in a good situation because Euro, that has to be tough, right? Like both guys are going back and forth. The striking was very close, but just both guys having block ages so low, it was just a matter of who made that mistake. And unfortunately for Euro, he made that crucial mistake that made him get that loss.
And I mean, the striking there was very crisp for both competitors. We didn't get to see a lot on the ground, so I can't really judge how well-rounded their games are. But at least on the feet, I mean, these guys are two killers. You know, I think they can stand with anyone in the business. They proved it right there. Jiro was great at the start at messing with his opponent's timing, you know, landing a bunch of uppercuts. But once Kante, he was kind of learning and loading what he was doing, and he was able to, you know, figure it out. Got a lot of slips in that second round, was able to finish it with the pullback uppercut.
Yeah, I mean, if we're seeing more devastating knockouts like that, we had submissions, we had, I don't even think we had a decision yet. Everything has been non-stop action. That's what we love to see at the season finale of the Xbox side for ESFL 173. And speaking of fantastic finishes and knockout power, this next matchup, as we're approaching the halfway mark, is Lilo, who is 2-0, trying to make it 3-0 in the season finale, going against Kretz. Hopefully we say your name right. 2-2, looking to be 3-2 in the featherweight division. On the scout report, in the weight division matchup, this is sure to be a bit of a banger here, Seth.
Yeah, you know, Kretz, you know, this is Pablo Grips. If you guys are not aware, he did change his name. You know, a very long time veteran. This guy, everyone you can think of, he's fought, and he might not have won, but he's gotten damn close. He's always been a top contender. Going against Lilo right now, who is a relatively new guy in the Xbox scene, undefeated, you know, with a win over Jiro. So we'll just have to see how this match plays out. You know, it's the passing of the guard. Is he ready to give up his reign, or is he got one more run for us?
Could the gate be open? Could the gate be closed? We'll have to find out as both guys go for a kick in this Conor McGregor Max Holloway matchup. As again, the Conor McGregor is being used by Lilo, who is looking to be 3-0. He's 2-0 currently, going against Kretz, who is formerly Pablo Grips in black trunks, using Max Holloway, and already going for kicks, going for striking to the body. It seems like we're changing up the levels in this matchup, and we're going for spinning back elbows. So already, Lilo wants to show that he deserves to be undefeated going to the end of the season here, Satch.
Yeah, and you know, this is one of the most iconic matchups in all of UFC. Max Holloway, Conor McGregor. Max Holloway's always got the cardio and the speed, but Conor is just a different beast. You know, if I had to pick, I think Conor McGregor is a more viable fighter, but, you know, Max Holloway has his advantages. We'll just have to see if Pablo Grips, the veteran, can take advantage of those, you know, those stat advantages he has in the cardio range and drag this fight out.
In real life, in virtual video games, in the virtual esports fight league, I am never counting on Max Holloway ever in a fight, because look at the combinations as he's coming in, getting some elbows, getting some strikes, getting some nice 1-2s, while Conor McGregor has the striking ability, has the kicks. Just something about the Max Holloway just hits different when he goes against opponents, and right now it's just been a slobber knocker as both guys are training into the pocket.
And you know, Kretz is doing a good job of using those feints. He's feinting low, throwing high, and that's how he's able to get most of these combos off so far. Is just by being effective with, you know, not knowing where he's gonna go.
Absolutely, and we'll see if the distance game will play in effect. Because right now we're seeing Lilo. He's working in his best ability, using those jabs, disrupting a little bit, trying to give his opponent something to think about, especially with those kicks. Just working the body whenever he gets close. Well, Kretz, maybe teasing the head kick. Maybe he wants to go for a huge devastating strike, but just waiting for that home run situation to happen. But slips away will keep him more into the fight. Oh, but the body will fall as we see Lilo says, I am the undefeated king.
Oh my
Possibly,
goodness.
as he is so close to winning the whole fight.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This fight went from 0 to 100 real quick. And Conor McGregor almost finished the fight for that ground and pound. I was waiting, like, when is he going to be able to pull him down? And I was going for the submission. Very smart here with his opponent low on stamina. We'll see if he's able to get the submission off. And it looks like he will.
Possibly. He's looking for it.
Yep.
He was able to get, but again, it's a Conor McGregor. He's not known for his submission, so he's not going to take as much as the submission part. But that will give him so much confidence. As it went 0 to 100, he is saying he is not like us. This whole level is different. But my God, as soon as we say that, the head kick from Max Holloway, it'll change everything. He goes for another head kick, but his stamina was so low, it could have been a knockout blow. 13 seconds left. I don't even know if we're going to get into the second round. Max Holloway going for a slap, but not able to get the head kick or the uppercut, as we're somehow, someway going into the second round of this fight.
I mean, I think these guys lost track of time. It looked like they thought the round, like the fight was over. They thought it was just one round. Like, we still got 2 more to go, guys. You can't empty out your gas tank just yet. I mean, Max Holloway, you know, I was counting him out there after those body snatch, but he gets right up to his feet and lands a devastating blow on Conor McGregor. So we'll have to see who's more gassed out, who got the better chin going in round 2, because I don't know.
I feel like we're going to keep up the same pace because the stamina is not going to be a problem. They do the same thing again. Both guys go for kicks, and it goes in the favor of Lilo using the Conor McGregor, but now this is up to him. He saw that the body shots worked against Kretz. Can he do it again? Well, Kretz, those head kicks have been money in the first round. He's going to want to try to go for it. He's going to want to try to find a way to get that block low so we can leak into the block age and hit him for a devastating shot. But the body shots, can he do it again? He did it again there, Stats. That's his key move.
You know, I'm a little worried, though. I've seen Pablo Grips. He's gone for that 1-2 head kick so many times. At some point, your opponent's going to get wise and duck underneath. And at that point, you might as well quit the fight right there because there's no surviving a dodged head kick. So he's got to be a lot more careful. I think he needs to be more creative with the way he's setting them up. But as of right now, it's working. So you'll have to see.
You will absolutely have to see as both guys facing in the phone booth, trying to gauge the distance a little bit low of the action, trying to plan out their next strategies. But when things happen like that, you'll see a pool party shouts to Bruce Lee Rob. But sometimes you just have to make that one crucial mistake and it changes the whole fight, as that stamina is so low. He is using so much of it. Kretz does not give a damn about what stamina he has. He is still marching forward and he still wants to go for a strike, even though he's taking so many shots right now.
Yeah, you know, Max Holloway right now, I'll be honest, this fight is not looking good if he has to go for another round. So he's trying to look for that big blow and to finish it out. But Conor McGregor is just a little quicker with the movement here, and he's been able to evade most of the punches coming his way.
But that's the thing with Kretz, right? He loves it when people count him out. When he was getting knocked down, when he was close of losing in that first round, he was able to come back and get rocks of his own. This is where he feels his most comfortable. But with 2:05 left, that huge right strike could have been huge for Kretz. Kretz still going in, gets knocked down for his troubles. Lilo says, no, we're going to put this to bed. Possibly still working on the body. That body's low. The stamina's low. Everything is low for him.
He's just, you know, mixing it up so well. This is a beautiful performance so far from Lilo. I mean, you just don't know where he's going to go. He's touching the tummy. He's putting him up top. You know, he throws a kick. He does a combo behind it. This is a great show of skill from Lilo in this fight so far.
Might as well call him Pepto-Bismol because he has everything for that stomach, but he has something for your headaches as he is causing so much damage against Kretz. Lilo is doing such a nice job of working the block gates and finding his ways, but those slips come in costly. The head kick once again. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter about the stamina. It doesn't matter where he's at. He still has a chance in every single combination.
I mean, I feel like I'm watching UFC 2 here. All these 1-2 head kicks, you know. Lilo is just maybe mesmerized a little bit, but the big uppercut there might put Max Holloway out the bed. We'll see if he can finish it.
Let's see. He has a chance. Can he get it? Yes, he will. Lilo goes 3-0 as he wins a slobber knocker against Kretz and able to disrupt the hierarchy of the ESFL Xbox rankings.
And I'm sure if Conor McGregor, if Lilo had a mic right now, he'd be calling out Fatinator saying, where are you at? The new champ is here. I mean, great performance. I mean, this looks like someone that can really contend to be a world champion on the Xbox side.
Hey, I mean, when you have a performance like that, when you create big moments like that, it's something to say. I mean, he was just starting on the main card. That was the start of our main card. So if he's able to get to the co-main in the future cards, like matchmakers are going to take a look at this performance like, okay, you could do it against Kretz. Can you do it against higher competition? If you say he's going to call out Fatinator, I feel like he needs to get a little bit more fights under his belt. We need to see if this is for real for now, but with a performance like that, absolutely astounding to see.
Yeah, and he showed it on the feet. We can't forget, he got a submission off with Conor McGregor. That's not something easy to do. So, I mean, it looks like his grappling is there. Once again, we'll have to see against those upper echelon. If he can beat a guy like Trixie or a guy like DirrtyDave, then maybe we have to talk about title contention for Lilo.
Yeah, and we'll have to see it. But again, that will happen in future plans and future ESFL events, because we are still not stopping with ESFL 173 for the Xbox season finale card. In this next one, I am very excited, because now it's not about people who are just below or average 500. These guys are looking to stay up high in the rankings, as it's going to be Jack Hanna going against Naznim, aka Nas. They're going in the middleweight, and in the scouting report, this is going to be a heck of a fight.
Yeah, we got both guys. We got two guys here that are both on winning streaks. You know, Jack Hanna is currently on a 2-game winning streak, and Naznem undefeated at 1-0 with a win over KM Basic, who I'd hold in some high regard. So some great matches here. It looks like that fight, though, his debut was at 163. It's been a couple months since he's been in the ring, so we'll see if, maybe he felt like he needed to prepare more, he needed a break. However, this is going to be the last fight of the season, so he's got a lot to prove here. A win here could really put him in the upper echelon of those up and comers for next season.
Yeah, he's trying to pull that Roman Reigns schedule where he just shows up, wins, and then he's going to take another 3 months off and then come back and get another victory. We'll have to find out how it all goes down, as hopefully we'll see how this whole thing goes. But unfortunately, we don't have no audio, so we're just going to do this like a silent movie. Jack Hanna using Izzy Adesanya, hoping to not fly like the previous Izzy Adesanya, while Alex Pereira is being used by, I want to say by Nas in the green and white. Let's see how this all goes down. But so far, Black Ace being low for Jack Hanna. Jack Hanna needs to find a way to counter this pressure that he's dealing with so far.
Yeah, and that's what they said in the scouting report. This guy's all pressure, and I can see it right now. He's not moving from the face of Israel Adesanya, but that's what you got to do when you're fighting these lengthy guys that want to kick. You get in their face, you put their backs against the wall, and you say, what are you going to do to stop me?
Yeah, all gas, no brakes. You're just seeing a collision of punches to the face of Jack Hanna. And Jack Hanna needs to find a way to slip out, maybe get away from the center line. He did some nice body shots there and able to duck down. That's going to be a good starting point. But how can you do it consistently? How can you find a way to get back in this fight where you're making them think about the strategy of being nonstop pressure?
And, I see Jack right here doing a lot of preemptive head movement. And that just means he doesn't really have a great read on Pereira. We're seeing him duck when he's not throwing. And that's something that Pereira can pick up on. And if he throws a good, well-timed uppercut, that could be it with the power Pereira has in those two hands.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see a nice head kick, able to lead up with a nice jab. Jack Hanna is able to get some striking of his own. Use a little bit more of the slips. Has a little bit touch of an uppercut. But again, Nas just put it onto his opponent. Every time he touches him with so much stamina, he's disrupting that Black Ace. He is disrupting the head health with 210 left. It's up to Nas to not let him go away into the good night, as Jack Hanna needs to find a way to be first class and try to find his way back in this fight.
And that was a good rebound there. He noticed that his opponent's stamina was low, and even though he just got rocked, he had nice body shots. So a good rebound for Adesanya. But like I said earlier, he went for the duck whenever Pereira wasn't moving, and he got punished for it, and that's why he was stunned there.
Yeah, but what can you do more? 90 seconds left. Try to go for a fly knee in the first round right there, but not able to capitalize, as Nas still pressing forward. Oh, gets a nice counter. Jack Hanna doing such a nice job to see what his opponent was giving him. Getting that Black Ace low, but trying to press the forward. And you know what? We see Nas. He's backing up a little bit more than we usually saw in the first couple of moments.
I can believe it. I look at his stamina right now, and he looks like he's definitely losing that part of the fight. Right now, I believe he's winning. But, when you got 2 more rounds to go, that starts to get scary. These missed strikes and these body shots are doing its toll for Pereira.
Yeah, maybe for Nas, he's thinking it's a spread. But for Jack, he's saying this is a marathon. He's just going to work on the body and try to get that stamina low as possible, because he feels like they're going to go into the second round. Not many rocks have happened, only just one, and he still has a chance. If that Black Ace in that stamina is low, that could be a beautiful concoction of destruction. But with strikes like that, the power of Nas and Alex as a knockdown will count in the judges' scorecards. But man, what a defining statement. What a punctuation of that first round for Nas.
I mean, this ain't 90s TV, but he was saved by the bell right there.
Yeah,
I mean, it looked like Pereira was gonna finish the fight. But just as time ran out, is when Adesanya hit the decks with that mean uppercut. And once again, Adesanya trying to be a little aggressive when he's hurt. Maybe needs to pull back on that a little bit and just utilize the head movement a little better than he's doing. But so far, he's doing a good job with the stamina advantage at least. So if he can stay alive for another round, he might be able to take advantage.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Jack Hanna is trying to make his opponent's record be a full house, trying to be 1-1 and not be undefeated. We have to see how it all goes down. Whoa! A nice left hook on from Nas with a knee, and that could be it. It will be it. Nas 2-0 stays undefeated in the season finale on the Xbox side.
Yeah, we need a stretcher. Someone's gonna check it on Adesanya. He had his eyes wide open, passed out. That boy was snoring in the ring. I could hear it from back here at the commentator's desk. I mean, what a finish there for Pereira. Those check hooks were money for him all night long, and that's eventually what finishes the job there. The check hook led to the knees, which led to the ground striking.
Yeah, and that's where the nonstop pressure came from. It's just like there was no lull in the pressure. Even though he stepped back like here and there, it was just like one-way traffic when it came to the striking. Maybe there was a time where he used too much stamina, but just this kind of pressure is just so damaging, especially into a high pressure situation as in the ESFL.
Yeah, and I mean, you can be aggressive and still back up. At certain points you have to relinquish some ground. You got to replenish your stamina, and that's what I saw from Nas there. He was smart with the times that he was aggressive, and then also knew when to back up and to let Adesanya gas himself out by missing strikes. And at the end of the day, power beats no power. So that's what I saw from Pereira. Was just a lot of strong hits that were landing that did a lot of damage, and that's how he was able to finish the fight.
Key plot point, just power. Aggressive power was the name of the story, and hopefully we get to see more of it as we're still ramping through the main card so far for ESFL 173. Because this next one, someone's a little bit excited because Ozzy Kid, who's the number 8th ranked fighter on the Xbox side, 3-2, is going against Evo Panda, who is also another undefeated fighter. So far, the undefeateds have been winning. Can he continue the streak in this next fight, especially in the lightweight division? Sats, what do you got for us in this scouting report?
Yeah, and for me, I think this looks like Evo's first real test. He beat two guys, El Camur and Maximus, who have losing records. And just to be quite frank about it, Ozzy Kid, however, a member of the Toon Squad, that's Cryoxis' camp. He went 4-2 in UFC 4, looking to go 4-2 in UFC 5. And I'm looking even at his losses. He lost to Caliber, very strong fighter there, but it's currently on a 2-fight win streak against Giro and Dex. So this could go either way. This is a big test for Panda.
Yeah, this is a very big test, and maybe has the implications of what may happen at 175. I mean, that would be the grand finale of this whole season. Could these guys make a bit of an impression? We'll have to find out. As Ozzy Kid in the white trucks using Nate Diaz, going against Habib Nurmagomedov by Evo Panda. So contrasting styles, but automatically you had to go for the takedown of your Khabib.
Right, and I was going to make that point. Let's talk about the fighters real quick. What a choice, Nate Diaz. A lot of people love to play with them, and maybe offline or maybe in ranked championships. For an ESFL fight, picking Nate Diaz in the year of our Lord 2024 is a choice. And Habib is going to look to get this fight to the ground and just maul him. This might be the first time of the year I've seen these two match up.
Yeah, I think it's the first that we've seen Khabib in this season. It's been so much of like different kind of fighters that he used to be a staple back in the UFC 4, UFC 3 meta times. But right now, it just seems like we're going back in time as the rubber guard is working effectively for his opponent. But it's just, how long can he withstand? Ozzy Kid still needs to watch out for this set guard because now he's dealing with the consequences and the punches.
And maybe that's the reason he chose Nate Diaz. Not a lot of guys have that rubber guard, that mission control position, and if you can use it effectively, you can be very dangerous in that full guard position. As he did right there. If you can start getting some denials together, you can get easy sweeps, some very rare submissions, the go-go plata, omoplata, all available in that position. So that could be very interesting. We'll see if he goes back to it.
Yeah, let's see if he does, because he's going for so many takedowns, but now he's starting to get denials. So how long do you try to go for that strategy? Maybe go for strategy trying to open up your opponent. We'll have to see. Ozzy Kid denies an overhand, but can't deny that takedown, as now his back is to the cage, and now his back is to the ground into the full guard position.
And that's a very realistic technique there. He shoots the overhand, even though he was out of range, he was able to chain that into the takedown and be able to use his momentum. So I like to see that. That must be something he's worked on there. I mean, if you remember the Conor McGregor fight, Habib did that many times where he shot an overhand and then shot for the takedown. So very interesting technique there, but Nate Diaz able to get back up to his feet.
Yeah, and you can see the opportunities that he had. He did the pull, didn't really connect with the elbow, but that's another opportunity that can open up in the future if he just gets a little bit closer to his opponent. Because right there it is again. Second time he sees the opening, he just can't fully connect. But when he does, that's gonna be really damaging for Ozzy Kid. But Ozzy Kid, he is still striking with a passion, but those body shots will change up the momentum as much as he can.
Well, a kid like Nate Diaz loves to get hit, so I can't say a big elbow is going to hurt him more than it's going to wake him up, get him ready to fight. And Nate Diaz, I think the most important thing I've seen from him is his ability to get up. You have very low takedown defense, and oh my god, these combos are nice, but you have low takedown defense. You're going to get taken down. Being able to get up as quickly as he has been very, very good for him.
Yeah, and while we're talking about the takedowns, look at the striking from Nate Diaz. He was able to get that block gauge and health gauge blinking a little bit, so even though he's been taken down to 3 takedowns out of 13. Holy, you usually see that in a full fight, but 3 out of 13, that's crazy. But Nate Diaz, he has some opportunity. Ozzy Kids is still in this fight.
I'd say he's more than this fight. I'd say he's in the driver's seat of this fight right now. Like I said, all those takedowns, he wasn't held down for long. When he did get taken down, showed off. He had a little rubber guard play, got a couple of denials, and on the feet, he's been completely dominant. So Evo is really going to have to work on these takedowns and hold him down is the most important part.
Hold him down and actually get some damage too. You need to score points. You can't just pepper in these shots and expect the judges to be on your side. They're just going to see us take that. But a good elbow like that in second show, that will score points for Ozzy.
And you got to deny that.
Yeah, you have to.
I'm a little disappointed. You're using Habib Nurmagomedov, the full guard sweep. You got to be expecting that against Nate Diaz. We got to get some denials in here and be able to hold these more dominant positions. Playing in Nate Diaz's guard, if he swings those rubber guard, gets that leg over top, it could be dangerous for you. So I want to see him hold half guard, hold side control, and be a little more dominant on the ground like Habib was in real life.
Absolutely, and he's getting denials, and he's getting another denial for trouble and to top mount, and this is where he wants to be. Try to go over to the back, trying to take the back, but Ozzy Kid doing such a great job doing denial after denial. But Nate Diaz,
you can deny all you want here, but this is a hard position to hold on to for too long. There's so many options for a guy like Habib, and even here he just gets off. Went for the back flat, went for some punches. There's so much to worry about right there. You really don't want to put yourself in that position. So, good job getting out of full mount, but he needs to try to avoid giving up his back again.
And so much time is taken away. We're approaching the halfway mark of this second round. There's only 3 rounds, and we want to say it could be Ozzy Kid's round in that first round, but now here's his chance to possibly steal the second round as he continue on his striking and able to land with some uppercuts to the head and to the body.
I mean, the control time is great as long as you keep him there. Getting back up to your feet now, if Nate Diaz lands a couple good strikes like he already has, they can swing around and steal it for him. That was a well-timed takedown, trying to pull guard, but something happened there, and Nate Diaz able to get the clinch there.
Yeah, even the gods of the EA was saying, hey, you know what, let's just keep his head for a little bit. But there it is, the body shots into the head, and it's blinking. It just seems like it's one-way striking. When it comes to striking, he's able to land that elbow, but with so much stamina lost, he's not able to capitalize as much as he wants. Evo Panda is kind of on the back foot when it comes to striking, but he's trying to answer back.
Yeah, I want to see Habib, hold his ground for a second and try and land a standing uppercut. Nate Diaz is throwing so many shots to the body. If you just throw a couple of those, you're more than likely to catch him while he's going down. So, just something a little different than what he's been doing right now. He's eating a lot of shots and just really trying to get this takedown. But Nate Diaz has been on his game with denials.
Yeah, you can just see he's just so uncomfortable in his stand-up. He's just blocking close, just standing there and just waiting for his chance to go for an takedown, but he can't do it with his body being so low as he gets knocked down. And Ozzy Kid with 30 seconds left thinks smartly and goes back to the stand-up, knowing that it has been working. That has been his bread and butter, and now the body shots are piling up, and now Evo Panda is getting a little bit desperate, especially with that flying knee.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say right now is desperate. I mean, his body health is low, his head health is low, his staminas are down, his takedowns aren't working, his grappling's not going great. This is a storm of, bad things happening to him right now, and he's got to try something. He's got to throw everything he has at the wall, show all of his skills. and see if he can land a lucky strike that changes the momentum.
Yeah, Sats, what's the over-under how many takedown attempts? Are we saying 30, 25? I think that's number 21 that he's done, but he's not able to get the full connection there. It just seems like Ozzy Kid is doing such a nice job of doing the denials after that first round.
Yeah, and you know, these takedown attempts have been pretty good for him, like the way he's mixing them in, but Ozzy Kid has just been on a different level with these denials. You know, I'm sure training with Toon Squad, he's had a lot of matchups with some of those, grappler heavy guys that try to just take all the fun out of life. So he's got a lot of experience dealing with things like that, and he's showing it in this matchup.
Absolutely, and we'll have to see if Ozzy Kid could go for a rubber guard situation, but gets put into a half guard. Evil Panda needs to find a way to posture up, needs to find a way to go back to top mount, because right now, this is just not it. You can hold this position so much, but you just get reversed like that into a Kimura attempt, and Ozzy Kid is now in the driver's seat.
Yeah, with the stamina disadvantage, I think he can go for the submission right now. He's kind of waiting a little bit, and I'm not sure if he's going to get it. It looks like Habib was able to re-guard. And now you're on the ground. I mean, Habib's got some scary arm bars from here, so you do have to be a little careful for your Diaz not to throw the fight away. I would try and get back up, and you continue the success he's had in his feet.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Do you be careful, because he might deny the get up, and that way it opens up to an arm bar. It seems like the obvious thing will go for an armbar, and that's what he does. Evil Panda saying that there's 2:34 left. I want to stay undefeated, and he's trying his damnedest, trying to find a way to get that armbar, and I think he might get it. This is gonna be tough here. Oh my goodness! I mean,
he's gonna kick out, but I mean that armbar is deep. I was trying to warm him. He wasn't listening to me. You know, he's got to get up, and now one more submission, and this fight could be over. We could see a huge upset, and he's giving up his bag. This is not where you want to be.
Oh no. 2 minutes left, plenty of time to go for a submission attempt and do the same thing he did before. But Ozzy Kid doing such a nice job of denying those. He feels like he's in the driver's seat, especially with all the striking he's been doing. But that's all you need if you're Khabib, especially with the submission attempt. He's trying to go for it, but another great denial under 90 seconds left here, Satch.
I mean, Ozzy Kid has been on one today with these denials. I mean, he's going for armbar right, armbar left, back flat, take the elbow, and here's the back fight. You know, you can't hang around here too long. Maybe some punches, but he's got a lot of chin. He's got a lot of chin left in this fight, so I don't think these punches are going to do much for him. And now Nate Diaz is able to regard.
It had to be a submission attempt. And also, like, it'd be so scary to leave it to the judges, because you don't know what they're going to be thinking when it comes to ground control or what they come to striking. Oh my goodness, he's going for submission. He has 36 seconds left. Ozzy Kid hanging on for dear life. I don't think he's gonna get it, and he's gonna get the tap out of nowhere. Evil Panda taking it just from the brink of defeat, gets to stay undefeated. The takedowns, the submissions, it was a war by attrition, and the takedown submissions work for Evil Panda.
And I hate to call it the commentator's curse. I just felt that armbar coming. You can't hang around. You know, when you're Nate Diaz, why are you playing on the ground with a guy who's got 99 submission skills? You know, you got to use what you were doing good in that fight. If he just stayed on his feet, he more than likely would have won. But great job by the Habib user there to, try everything in his toolbox. That's what I was telling him earlier. He was losing that fight. He was losing almost every facet of the fight. I was like, you got to find something you're good at. And he went into his tool bag of submissions and was able to get the job done.
And here's kudos to Evil Panda, because he could have abandoned his game plan, right? He could have just been like, all right, I can't do these takedowns anymore, but he kept at it and kept at it and kept at it. And when he had, 35 seconds left to go, he still went for the armbar, and he saw like an opportunity, and he took it. It's those fine margins that make you a winner or a loser in these situations, that makes you undefeated or just one to pack in the rankings of the Xbox division. So for Evil Panda, the victory goes to spoils. He gets the victory and he stays undefeated, and it'll be interesting to see what other people are going to be looking for, because there's 3 people who are undefeated at the end of the season, and I would love to see some undefeateds going against undefeateds. It'll be a nice matchup there, Sage.
And now we're looking into this new fight. This is a little interesting to me. This S2 camp, are they new? Are you familiar with them?
They've been this season for a while, but as you were talking about the next fight, LWCIA Webcam 5-5 going against S2 Intro. This is sure to be a big matchup. Not as much of the takedown submission game that we're going to see, but a bantamweight slobber knocker, as it's a top 10 matchups. Webcam being number 7, Intro being number 2. On the scout report, they have been going through some wars against people. As we take a look at the fire line.
I mean, Webcam it looks like he's fought almost every week. You know, he's got 10 matches under his belt, going for the 11th one of this season. I mean, he is a workhorse. You know, he started off the year 0-3, picked up some great wins. Now he's back to 5-5, and is looking to end the year on a positive note. Finish, you know, with a positive record. On the other hand, you got Intro, who's always been a top contender. Fought for some titles, and you know, he's looking to get back on track. Currently 3-2, but those 2 losses are, you know, Mixups and ZIF. You know, you can't fault a guy for losing to those guys. So this is going to be a very big fight, very big for both of them to see, you know, whose name's going to be thrown around as a top 10 fighter next season.
Yeah, and this feels like a fight that could be a boiler bonus if I do see one of the guys being approaching to 8 fights. But this is something like when you stay consistent into this ring and when you put your heart out there, you are able to be rewarded, especially at the end of the season. And we'll see how they will go through in the spotlight, because right now, Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Cody Garbrandt, we're looking to see knockout after knockout as Webcam is using Sugar Sean O'Malley and Intro using Cody Garbrandt.
And Intro's pick right here. Intro's pick right here tells me he wants to finish this fight quick, because you don't choose Cody Garbrandt to go into a 3-round fight. He's got no chin. If you get hit a couple times, you're out. But what he does have is a glass cannon. You know, you can knock someone out just as quick as you can get knocked out. So he's got to be aggressive, take calculated risks, and try and finish this fight early.
Yeah, just use the hooks. Use the Kamaru Usman meta back in UFC 3 and just go for those hooks and go crazy. But right now, we're seeing a little bit of kicks, a little bit of dodging from Intro. Intro wants to go back in, but needs to watch out for these trades. Working the bite, but that elbow will do some massive damage against the glass chin of Intro.
And like I said, if I'm Webcam, I'm doing the opposite. I'm taking not as many risks. I'm going to play a little more passive and just try and, you know, tittle-tat the body and, you know, work on that stamina, work on that glass chin, and try and finish the fight later. So we'll see if he comes in with that strategy or if Webcam's going to go for the war, but Intro doing exactly what he needs to, getting an early rock.
That's what you need if you're Intro. You saw the hooks, you saw the strike, the combinations will be your best friend. While we see Webcam trying to answer back, gets a nice 1-2 for his troubles. Trying to find his opening, trying to find a jab that working out. But those combinations, he didn't lose much stamina, especially landing those combinations. For Intro, that has to be a key game plan. Oh, but needs to watch out for the head kick.
Roman Reigns with the spear.
Just Goldberg, Roman Reigns, Edge, you can put them all in the corner. That's the type of spear that you want to see, especially in the octagon, especially after hitting a head kick. And that's what O'Malley wants to do. Now, we saw in the last fight, when someone stayed to the ground too long, it became a very big disadvantage. Do you like the strategy of O'Malley staying, especially Webcam, staying in this ground game, even though he's in top position?
Well, I don't have a problem with it. You know, this is still early in the fight. You know, if he stays on top of the ground here, he'll probably win the round, and you really don't have to worry about being submitted or being reversed by a guy like Cody Garbrandt. You know, he's a high school wrestler, maybe, not great jiu-jitsu, so even if it's a great user, all he can do is get back to his feet like he did right there.
Yeah, and with 1:05 left in the first round, Intro trying to create some magic here, trying to get as close as possible to land some good combinations, landed a knee. And easily we get back into the action as we're back here. 35 seconds left. Intro still has his blockade still leveled up. Blockades being halfway depleted. Still a relatively even fight, even though we saw a nice rock by Webcam.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, even though Sugar Sean was able to get the drop there, Cody Garbrandt has looked pretty solid here, but he's taking a lot of shots in the chin. Good head movement at the end of the round, but wasn't able to get the counter strike as the horn sounds.
Yeah, and also, if you're on the Twitch broadcast, just refresh. We're still live. We're still good. We're still seeing amazing action, even though sometimes the replay camera angles are, you know, a little bit more realism. But you saw Intro able to land those hooks, able to land those combinations. What does Webcam need to do to counter that? Maybe play a little bit more distance game?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to mention earlier, is that, you know, when you're going against Cody Garbrandt, you want to play on the outside, at least for the first 2 rounds here, and trying to dwindle away his stamina, dwindle away his pin, so that you can land those bombs in the third and final round. You know, going into a firefight with Cody is not really recommended, but O'Malley's done a good job of picking his shots and choosing when to let those hands fly.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. He is letting those hands fly, and that blockade is getting lower and lower by the second, every single punch. But when you go in trades, this is where Intro wants to be. He wants to be as close as possible. He wants to land the vicious shots. And you can see toe strike landing percentage is fairly even. A nice counter shot from Webcam, but he's feeling good. He's feeling nice. His slips are working to his benefit, and now he's getting a head help Lincoln.
I don't even know what I'm seeing right now. This is just rock'em sock'em. Everyone's taking shots. I can't tell who's winning these exchanges, but someone's gonna fall to the floor soon.
Yeah, maybe a head kick, maybe a flying knee. We'll have to find out. And you can see Webcam is prepping it. He's trying to get his opponent to bait into that. Maybe get a little bit closer. Maybe duck under to land an uppercut. But intro, he's still pressured forward. He's still working his straight. We're going to block, but an elbow lands for Webcam. And now the rocks into the knockdown. Could this be it?
It might be, but Cody Garbrandt and those punches are enough. Herb Dean jumps in and makes the call. What a fight.
What a fight. CIL Webcam, a lethal weapon, gets the victory. He is 6 of 5 in his 11th fight. The consistent brawler, the consistent fighter gets it done for the ESFL Xbox rankings.
I mean, this guy just loves to fight, man. He's here every week. He shows up, puts on a fight, gets his paycheck, and gets out. I mean, 11 fights. What a season he had. Even though 6 and 5 was not the best record, still positive. Ends on a bright note and a lot of competition he faced. So nothing to look down on. Maybe next year, he can take an improvement on that, and we can see a big leap in his game. But very strong win there against the Cody Garbrandt KM intro.
Yeah, and especially when you're fighting for so long and you finally get that last victory, that's all you care about. Like, it's just the season finale, you get that victory. Okay, it doesn't matter what happened in the last 10 fights. You got the victory. You're a winner. That's all that matters. But for intro, back to the drawing board, right? He had such a tough opponent, especially Sugar Sean O'Malley, who's going to have amazing power stats, and his speed of punches is just going to be so devastating. What can he do next season to improve? Do you think he needs to go back in the lab, or do you think it's just unfortunate luck when it goes to that battle?
For me, I think with this season finale, the win gives you confidence, the loss gives you motivation. You got a lot of months, and you're either going to be, able to hold your head up high and say, listen, I'm at the top of my game, or you're going to lose and you're going to say, I need to get better. And, KM intro, great fighter. I'm not throwing any disrespect towards him. I'm just saying that loss maybe can motivate him to take the next step. I mean, all 3 of his losses were against good opponents, so I'm not going to, he's definitely going to be around next season, but can he take that next step, start to beat these top guys, and, go on a championship run?
Absolutely, and we'll talk more about championship runs after this fight, because this next fight, the co-main, is going to be an amazing one, as we're still waiting for confirmation that that fight is ready to go. But let's talk, actually, instead of waiting for the next fight, let's talk about it now. We have so many great events, especially after the Xbox season finale and the PlayStation season finale. We have Undisputed coming in possibly October. A new season of the ESFL UFC 5 gameplay. And then, maybe ESFL 175, if we can confirm this has a major main event in Satch. We're all going to be tuning into this, because in the main event of ESFL 175, it is champ versus champ. Badinator versus GOAT 1099. When you think about that matchup, when you think about the combination of the whole season, what are you looking forward most of that whole bout, especially in the grand finale of ESFL season?
Listen, as dominant as Badinator been, this is an uphill battle for him. GOAT 1099 has been in every super fight you can imagine. He's been on every big card. ESFL 100. He had the super fight versus Nas. He is whatever you can think of, he's done it. And most of the time, he comes out with the win. So, I mean, I'm very excited for that main event. Who isn't? GOAT 1099, what a legend he is. And he looks to continue his run. He's saying, look, you can bring any new kid. You can bring Zayef. You can bring Nas. You can now bring Fadinator. But one man will reign supreme. He is the GOAT 1099.
Unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Someone has to lose, and that is something to look forward to, especially after these 2 weeks of season finales that we still have. But we're still here. We still have so many amazing fights left to go. We still have 3 on the card, and this Coco main is ready to go, as his Dex Primacy going against EasyWork GG, which is sure to be another crazy banger, because it's in the heavyweight division, and this counter report shows that these guys are ready for the challenge.
EasyWork, he really surprised me at the start of this year. He was really dominant at a time where people were still trying to figure out the metas and, weren't necessarily comfortable with the game. He was able to jump right in and put together a great record. I think he was 4-0, fought for the title. I'm not sure if he won it or not, but he did have a fight for the title. And, ever since then, he's kind of been a little rusty. He's 1-2 in his last 3. So we'll see, is the honeymoon period over, or is he going to, stay a top dog in this company?
we'll have to see. Being a top dog is no easy task because everyone has a target on you. You have a big red X at the back of your head. You want to make sure that you get the victory to stay on top. The EasyWork, he had title opportunities. He had title matches. He had co-mains. He is a proven vet in this situation. Trixie, who knows? He is a wild card, and that's why you need to get your predictions in, because this one, Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, may be in the future cards. We're seeing it right now in the ESFL 173 card. Let's get this whole thing going, as it's, I want to say, EasyWork as using Tom Aspinall, and Trixie using Jon Jones in yellow.
And there's no doubt that Dex is the underdog on this fight. He was a last-minute replacement to fill in. He got the shot and he took it. So you see him using Jon Jones. Probably a very smart pick for him, using the best fighter in the game. But we'll have to see if Tom Aspinall's boxing can get rid of the damage that Jon Jones has everywhere on the feet and on the ground.
Yeah, and you can see that EasyWork is testing his opponent, right? He's going pressure. He want to see what can work. Are you going to react to the body shots? Are you going to try to push me out of the corner? Are you circling around? It's just like little gatherings of information to see what works and what doesn't. We know that EasyWork knows to be in this situation, but head kicks like that will give him cause for concern, because that's what I'm saying. He's been around the block. These guys are in the boiler bonus category, and they want to see if they can make it on that 175 card. Will it happen? We'll have to find out. But leg kicks like that will give him some nice momentum as EasyWork still goes for the legs.
And the one weakness is Jon Jones, the user himself, the card, so to speak, has is his block rating. His block rating's always been a little low. So if you're able to get in the pocket and block break with him, it can pay dividends in the later round. So I like what Tom Aspinall is doing, getting in boxing range, just hitting that block, doing some block breaking combos, and beating up on it, setting himself up for success later in the fight.
Yeah, try to do a 1-2 uppercut, but landed with the 4th shot. The front kicks like that, it's just Jon Jones has just a wizardry when it comes to his legs, but when you do something like that out of range, you leave yourself up for punishment. And EasyWork, he's going to be taking a look at that, saying, okay, if you're going to be doing that, what else is next? As he's able to capitalize, and now gets up into the clinch, putting his opponents back to the cage. And now this is where the punishment, this is where the pressure comes into play.
And that was a very calculated move by EasyWork right there. He noticed earlier in the fight he got hit with that, where he misses the kick. Typically, when someone misses the kick, you push in, but Jon Jones has the ability to swing it around for a spinning kick. So he was able to calculate on that. He could do it again here, just missing kicks, throwing him out of range, trying to bait Tom Aspinall in, but he's fighting very smart, waiting for his opponent to gas out, miss these strikes, and then get in the pocket.
Yeah, we saw a takedown attempt right there from Dex, not able to capitalize, as EasyWork has just had the frontward attack that's been kind of frustrating Dex Trixie so far. Especially after that head kick and that uppercut, it's just been all striking from EasyWork as he's trying to make light work of his opponent, but just 1-2s, blockades are already depleted, already blinking. It just seems like it's only a matter of time before he gets another big shot.
And I'll be honest, if I put any money on Dex right now, I'd be a little scared. I haven't really seen any success for him in any facet of the game yet. EasyWork's been kind of manhandling him in the striking, getting everything he wants, baiting the reads out of his opponent. But as I say that, nice little counter elbow. However, EasyWork's been in control. I want to see Dex maybe shoot for a takedown, try and switch something up here, get a clinch, because this striking didn't really seem to work out for him too well in that first round. But I guess the numbers might disagree with me here. It looks like he struck him significantly.
All this tells me that you don't want to leave it to the judges. Total strikes go in favor of EasyWork, but significant strikes went to Dex. It's sometimes he was scoring in that first round. Can he do it again? Can they adapt? We'll have to find out in this second round, because Tom Aspinall being used by EasyWork, he wants to stay 6-2, and he wants to be in the top 5 of that Xbox ranking for next season. While Dex, if he's able to take down a huge opponent like EasyWork using Jon Jones' character, that shows that maybe he needs to be up in that upper echelon now, as that knee works dividends onto a damage, but you need to watch out for that phone booth attacks.
And if I was a judge, I'd say the round was the easy 10-9 for Aspinall, but looking at the stats, it could have gone either way. So both fighters got to kind of play what they don't know what happened in round 1, and unless you have 2 dominant rounds here, you really need to take it to your opponent and take it to have a really good round. These close rounds are not going to be too good for you.
Absolutely, and that's a takedown that you need to solidify the round. Get the takedown, get the damage, and make sure you can keep them down there as much as possible as they transition into a half guard. for Dex Fantasy, this could be another advantageous situation. Because the striking, even though he got significant strikes, he wasn't getting the total benefit. It was more in the favor of EasyWork. So keep him down here, pepper in some shots, but get that posture up. Get at least one posture up right here and get that damage in. And constant blocks will disrupt that Black H as much as possible.
And that's very smart by him. If you notice, he's targeting the body his entire time on the ground. Looking at the stamina advantage for Jon Jones, it is starting to become a wide margin here. And every single shot he's thrown on the ground so far has gone to the body. So he's trying to widen that margin, take him into the round 3, get him in the deep waters, get him tired, and then that's when, you know, you can, even if a guy's better than you on the feet, you can start winning the strikes as they don't have the stamina to keep up. More knees to the body. Very smart game plan for Jon Jones.
Yeah, but this is the time for EasyWork to get back up, as he still has playing time as we're approaching closer and closer to the 2-minute mark of the second round right here. The leg kicks, and you can see that left leg is a little bit lower than usual for its health. And now you see that Dex had to switch stance because he doesn't want to put that left leg into jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, Jon Jones does have that ability to switch stance, so luckily you're not too impacted by it, but you know, something you want to keep a lookout for if you switch. Yeah, that was very close. That head kick, that was inches there. Just got the block up in time. But, you know, you got to remember to stay in the stance now, because if you go getting a leg rock, that can change the round, how it's scored, because it's been so close.
Yeah, but also kudos for EasyWork. He could have just stopped using the leg kicks, but he kept using it on both legs. And now you can see him, he's really targeting those left legs. He wants to make sure that he has his opponent thinking high and low, so he can open up the head and maybe go for an overhand, maybe an uppercut that has some ducking low. We'll have to find out, but just 1-2, give him something to think about, and now change it up to the body. This is giving him levels upon levels of mind games, but a flying knee as a desperation attempt comes from Dex. Not really connecting.
And I wasn't a big fan of that, because it was he tried to go for that 2 seconds ago, and Tom Aspinall he landed a hook to mess it up. And so Aspinall already expected it. Here's the leg check though, and now the leg rock for Jones could swing around in his favor. But you know, you gotta not be so focused on what you want to do. He wanted to throw that flying knee. He messed up. You got to move on. He tried to throw it again. That could have been a lot worse for him, but luckily it was just a misstrike.
So now it was like deja vu in the second round, right? Total strikes go in favor of EasyWork. Significant strikes, ground time, ground control went to Dex. So in this third round, we've seen these very close rounds go here or there. It could be a split decision if possible. You want to really solidify this third and final round and leave no doubt. The stamina advantage is in the wheelhouse of Dex. And you can see him, he's pressing forward. He wants to make sure that he doesn't have his opponent have a chance at his legs, because now the head kick could be in play.
Yeah, when you're a heavyweight throwing these head kicks, it is a dangerous game if your opponent's able to duck them. So you got to be very careful. If you ask me, it's 1-1. It could be 2-0 for either of these guys. I think round 2 was pretty clearly Jones, but once again, these judges, you never know what's going to happen. You got, oh, there it is, a dodge head kick and a huge right hook, and that could be the difference maker in this fight.
When you toss a coin and it lands your side, you're able to capitalize and punish, and he was able to get it. He was able to get the rock, but now it's up to him. He's working on the body because he's so focused on the head. EasyWork is finding another gear in his contest as he lands an elbow, and that's a nice counter elbow for his trouble.
And I like this body work, but you got to be careful. The uppercut, Jon Jones could be planning. It looks like he's plotting to throw an uppercut on this body shot. So yeah, it's good work for EasyWork, but you don't want to get too aggressive going to the body and get caught napping.
You can plot all day long, but what matters is the execution. Can you land the right buttons when you need to? Can you be in that situation, in the right situation? This is why to damage your opponent. You can see the clinch working, the body shots working for EasyWork. Denials. He is on a tear when it comes to these executions.
And right now, I'm just so concerned for these fighters because there is no say who's going to win this fight on the scorecard. So you really got to look for the finish for either of these guys, because it could be 3-0 either. I mean, this round very clearly Aspinall, but it could be 2-1 for Jones. Who knows?
Flipping him like a flapjack and now into a sprawl position, working on the body, working on the stamina with 2:13 left in the third and final round. I would just love to see Jones do a little bit more. See what he could do. That black body health is going lower and blinking so much. Will he try to go for a submission? I don't know if he needs to go for submission there, but he's trying some new avenues here.
Yeah, and I think Jones thinks he's up 2-1 right now. Yeah, he's just trying to survive this round. He's doing some good work on the ground. This body has been devastated throughout the fight, but if I'm him, I'm trying to get up and I'm trying to throw a good kick to the body, get another drop and be steal the round. This body work is good, but it's only setting up for the future. And when you got a minute, your future is looking grim. You need to get back to the feet. You need to land a big strike.
Here we go. We are going to crunch time. It is mom spaghetti time as 1 minute remains in the co-main event. Flying knee trying to come out from Dex, not able to get the full connection. Tom Aspinall with his stamina low. EasyWork trying to find his way to not become a loser in the season finale. Trying to find his way back in. 33 seconds left. Dex is still on the head front and trying to work on the body.
Yeah, excellent defense so far from EasyWork being able to lock up that body, but it's just going to take one shot to sneak through for Jones. There's not a lot of time left to get that shot. So we'll see how 9 seconds remain.
Will he go for a home run here? Will he try to do something desperate? The heck, oh! If he just had a chance to step forward, maybe he'll get that last shot, but not getting the full thing that he wanted. But we finally go into a decision, and it goes to EasyWork. GG. He gets the victory. He is dapping up his coaches. But let's see in the judges' scorecard how close it was. Maybe it wasn't close at all. And it was 30-27 for Judge 1. Judge 2 was 29-28, 29-28. So 2 judges gave John Jones that second round for Dex. So it could have been a split. But Tom Aspinall, EasyWork GG, becomes 6-2 with that decisive third and final round. Congratulations to him for getting that victory.
And that's how I would have scored it. I thought that Aspinall won rounds 1 and 3 with Jones taking round 2, but we didn't know until those scorecards were read. It could have gone either way. So good job by Aspinall. He was able to use his striking. I thought he was a little better on the feet, and especially that huge round 3 with the stun that he got on Jones sealed the deal.
Yeah, how big is that? He goes for a head kick, Dex does. He gets ducked, he gets rocked. That could have been the most finest margins of him taking that third round, because, you know, with the takedowns and the clinches and everything, it still could have been a toss-up. We saw those rounds be a toss-up. One just had it completely in favor of EasyWork, but that second round definitely went to Dex, and that's how it is. Get that one stun, you might solidify the win. So congratulations for both of those fights, because that was an awesome fight to see how close it would have been. But 6-2 for EasyWork. Dex 4 and unfortunately 5 in that loss column. Hopefully we get to see him more in the next season, because Satch, we're on to our last 2 remaining fights on the Xbox side, because it is time for our co-main event in the welterweight division. This is something that everyone has been like crossing to see what will happen in this fight. It is the run back, it is the rematch between EK Warrior, who is 7-3, going against DirrtyDave with 6-4. Both guys in the upper echelon. Someone's got to give. What do we have on the schedule?
I mean, DirrtyDave, a lot of people consider him to be a boring fighter, and I think him using Kamaru Usman here is not helping his case too much, because, it's Usman's also kind of known for putting on some sleeper fights back in his early days. But this match with EK Warrior, DirrtyDave's going to have to pull all the tricks out in this book. They've already fought. DirrtyDave did not come out victorious the first time around, so we'll have to see what he can do to, perhaps mix something up and get the win for Usman. In real life, Usman is 0-2 versus Leon, so maybe the odds aren't in his favor. But, I mean, DirrtyDave's a veteran. He has every trick in the book to get a victory, so let's see how this one plays out.
Absolutely. It's not about the title, but it's about the boiler bonus. It's about trying to get a spot at 175. It is about revenge. Will we see revenge in the co-main event? It is Warrior. It is Dave. It is the co-main event of ESFL 173. Kingsley and Satsmo here as we get things going. EK Warrior using Leon Edwards. DirrtyDave using Kamaru Usman. And this is what Kamaru wants to do. Work the body, but also work the hooks. You want to use them like a Cody Garbrandt, but a little bit of a better chin and better grappling. While EK Warrior, he wants to keep it kickboxing, but he's going into the phone booth, working against his opponent and working those jabs a little bit more than we usually see.
Yeah, we can go and talk about what these two guys are fighting for. Obviously, DirrtyDave wants revenge for that loss that he had. But EK Warrior, with a win tonight, could pick up a $50 bonus from the Boiler bonus. So the 8th win mark on the season is what secures that bonus. So I'm sure he's going to be fighting with every ounce of his body to try and secure that money bank.
Yeah, and we'll have to see. There may not be a title on the line, but there's a lot at stake. There's bragging rights still at stake. And we see the first takedown gets denied. These guys are on their P's and Q's. They have been labbing. They've been circling this on their calendar for the season finale, trying to see who is the better fighter on UFC 5 in the ESFL. Who can take it? And you can see striking's coming in, blockades being low for DirtyDave. DirtyDave needs to get his way out, and that's how you do it, with the right hook right there. And you can see how much power that hand had.
Yeah, I mean, EK Warrior is always known for his striking. He's a better striker. DirtyDave's a better grappler, so we'll see how these yin and yang play out in the feet of DirtyDave. Shoots for a takedown earlier. Right now, he seems pretty content. You know, the stand-up's been pretty close, so I don't hate this from Moose, but at some point, I think he should try and secure a takedown before the round ends.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see if he can when the half mark is passed in the first round right here. Only 3 rounds for this co-main event fight as he's, as EK Warrior still working his way, a little bit of southpaw orthodox situation, while DirtyDave still trying to work that uppercut, but not in the full range. And we see body shots coming in from EK Warrior, but still staying patient, still not trying to blow the gas tank as he lays up for an open counter strike into her uppercut, and that will pay dividends in the future.
Yeah, and it looks like Leon is just getting a slightly better these exchanges. So once again, you know, Usman, I think you got to at least attempt a takedown. You got to throw something at him. That uppercut could have been dangerous and a big head kick there for Usman. So maybe it's not so one-sided. You know, anything can happen in between these two fighters.
Absolutely, and sometimes you have to fight in the elements that you're in. Sometimes you have to deal with it and just try to put on the show. And the biggest spotlight that you had so far, as both guys are swinging for the fences, both head health were fairly low. But the blockade, the takedown gets denied, as both guys doing such a nice job with the denial so far.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to get those takedowns on the outside, but it just gives your opponent a new look. Now he has to think about the takedown, and maybe his striking won't be as crisp. So it was a good shot there for Dave, just wasn't able to finish it.
You see DirtyDave trying to land the uppercut, gets a nice little piece of the head with that strike, but EK Warrior going forward, not really trying to get his opponent to think. Catches the leg, a nice body shot from DirtyDave as we're approaching the 10-second mark of this first round.
Yeah, and just as this round finishes here, I'm not exactly sure who got the better of those exchanges. I was leaning Warrior. Usman landed some good shots at the end. I mean, that's a toss-up. Anyone could have won that.
We saw how the judges were scoring at the last Coco main. You really don't want to give it any of the judges any benefit of the doubt, as it's 15-15 significant strikes, but total strikes 41-36. Even though we saw the takedown there, so if they're trying to go their way, DirtyDave got that round.
Yeah, and if I had to pick, I think the judges are going to score to 10-10. I've seen a lot of 10-10s in this game. They're not afraid to do it. But if I had to pick, I think Dave might have slightly edged him out with the power folks he's landing. He got very close to a stun there at one point. So,
yeah. So hopefully we'll get the action going, because you know, unfortunately it's live. These hiccups happen, but we'll hopefully get into this co-main. But speaking of back on that first round, right? It's been as we get a little bit of a situation as we hopefully try to get that match back. But let's talk about what's been happening in that fight. We saw DirtyDave. He was able to land the hooks. He was able to catch some kicks that Leon Edwards was doing. EK Warrior was having some success with it, but it was still a little bit of a toss-up going into that second round.
Yeah, surprisingly strong round for DirtyDave. However, I think with this lag out, it might favor EK Warrior a little bit, because EK Warrior I do still consider to be the better striker. So now that he's got some of that information loaded, maybe he can go into the next round, the next fight, and you know, be able to implement some of those things that he's seen.
So yeah, that's like a whole different other chess game, right? Like, you're so prepared for your opponent right there, and for some reason these things happen. Does that give you a little bit more confidence if you're like having some success against your opponent, or does it make you trying to like pause for thought, like maybe I need to change up my strategy so I'm not as predictable going into like a refight?
Well, what it does is it gets you off your game. You know, DirtyDave was locked into that fight, and something happened out of his control, and now they're restarting. Now we're back to square one. Now you're thinking about everything that could have happened rather than what you got to focus on right now, which is locking back in. However, both of these guys are veterans. It shouldn't be too big of an issue for them, but I know for me, if I thought I was winning that fight and that happened, that's all I could think about. It's like, man, I was winning, you know, and so you really just got to refocus and lock in on this new fight.
Absolutely. Again, it's a new sign of life. Like, no matter what you think of it, and luckily it only happened in the first round. There wasn't like a lot of action happening forward. No one got like a vicious rock. It was still fairly even, so it would still be a fair contest no matter what has happened. But like these guys in the top 5 of the Xbox rankings. Fatinator was completely dominant in his Xbox title run, but EK Warrior and DirtyDave, there is a reason why they have 7 wins and 6 wins. These guys have been putting on a clinic when it came to this whole season in general.
And these are 2 guys that if Fatinator wasn't around, they'd probably be champions, both of them. You know, DirtyDave's been around for so long. I think it's a running joke. He's fought for like 20 titles, and he just can never finish the job when it comes to the big moment. So, you know, he is the ultimate can crusher. You put anyone in front of him, he's probably going to win unless there's a title on the line. Then, you know, the nerves get him to him a little bit. But, I mean, fantastic fighter, and we'll just have to see how this rematch turns out. Who can win the mental battle of it.
Yep. We're getting word from the back. All right, so here's the situation, guys. We're gonna run it back. We're getting closer and closer to being in the fire lobby. We can see them on our screens getting fire lobby. They're dealing with some circumstances, but we are still gonna try to have this fight, and we're gonna have some such an amazing time. Because again, this is ESFL 173. These guys have been waiting so patiently. We want to see these fights be amazing. We want to see you guys get your coins in the predictions, so make sure you get your predictions in, and just keep on hold. We're on hold a little bit. We'll get in straight into it, and we got confirmation that they're ready to get things going. So we're going to go back into the fire selection screen as we see here, and you see both guys, Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. We're going to see a little bit of a run back, but now there's more data to be downloaded, there's more situations to be had, and we're going to get this whole thing going.
And also something I didn't realize at the start, EK Warrior does have a slight advantage over DirtyDave in their personal matchups. Now, this could have been bars, it could have been training lessons. We don't know exactly how these wins came apart, but we see 14 wins for EK Warrior and 9 for DirtyDave. So, you know, at that point, it's a toss-up. These guys are fairly evenly matched, and that's exactly what we saw in that last fight.
Yep, and here we go. So nice. We're doing it twice. It is EK Warrior going against DirtyDave. EK Warrior, again, is Leon Edwards. DirtyDave is also Kamaru Usman. This is going to be a nice matchup, and we appreciate everyone here live on Twitch and on YouTube for being so patient and sticking with us throughout this amazing card so far. And the best is yet to come. Our main event is coming up after this fight, which is going to be another banger. But this is what we expected, right? Still an even matchup. Both guys going for body shots, but now the hook's coming out from Kamaru Usman.
Yeah, I could tell. These guys were like pit bulls that were chained up all day. They were biting at their tails. They were ready to go at it. So as soon as they got in this fight, they started swinging hard. You know, a little bit more aggressive than we saw in that first round. So well, I think this favors Dave in the pocket. You know, with the aggressiveness, these hooks have really landed well for him. So we'll just have to see if EK Warrior can adjust.
And let's see if he does adjust, because DirtyDave, his block gauge was low, but he was still pressing forward. And Leon Edwards didn't have a chance to answer back at all, because you don't want to get caught while you use your stamina and just be the second guy throwing the strike, because you will get caught. Just like right there. Another hook landing for DirtyDave while EK Warrior is trying to answer back, but he needs to find a way to get his counterpunching going.
And, you know, it's funny. This Kamaru Usman pick for DirtyDave, it is the perfect example of how he fights. Ooh, nice combo there, but like a 2018 Kamaru Usman, that's exactly what I think when I think DirtyDave. So it's the perfect fighter for him, and we'll just see if he can capitalize. But Leon Edwards, EK Warrior, has found the right spot for some of these strikes. You know, it's been more quality for EK Warrior with quantity with Dave.
Oh, absolutely. You saw the quality of that body uppercut landing. It was such a nice counterpunch that kind of flipped the fight on its head, and he was able to get some strikes of his own going. But now the 1-2 with a hook from DirtyDave, this is not where you want to be, because now those hooks are landing like nicely and freely. DirtyDave is finding some rhythm. He's getting the sweet science. He knows the opportunities. The leg kicks, the body shots are not being as much damaging as it was before.
Yeah, but you know, I love the lead body kick is one of my favorite shots in the game, and EK Warrior's been able to mix it in pretty well here. If he can just time it right, ooh, big pullback there. That was a big shot, but if he can time that right, he can get some good body damage on Kamaru Usman.
And EK Warrior doing such a nice job. Answering back again. The third time he's able to get a counter shot, even though it didn't flash right there. That head health is definitely feeling the effects, while DirtyDave still pressing forward, going to that southpaw orthodox matchup, trying to maybe disrupt the tempo a little bit of EK Warrior. Now EK Warrior has to put other things in the equation.
Yeah, and you see DirtyDave getting a lot more patient now, playing on the outside, not being aggressive, and that's playing right into EK Warrior strategy here. And, you know, EK Warrior's had a lot of success towards the end of this round, so that's what we're seeing. If EK Warrior can keep the fight at this pace, he's going to have a lot of success. I think DirtyDave needs to change something up once he can go for a takedown or just be more aggressive in the pocket.
Will he go for a head? I was wondering if it was a front kick or a head kick in the last 10 seconds. Those are the most dangerous seconds in UFC 5 possible. But again, a little bit more definitive than what we saw previously. That first round, we saw EK Warrior counter punches, uppercuts, landing so much. But DirtyDave also had some success. He was landing hooks. He was able to catch the body shots. It's just those front kicks need to be landed a little bit more quicker than what it did at the last parts of that first round. Anything you have to add, what they could possibly do in the second round to adapt?
Yeah, well, you know, I saw the tooltips pop up and it says, hey, take your opponent down. Hold LT and B1 and you can shoot for a takedown. I'd love to see that from DirtyDave. You know, his bread and butter has always been grappling and not even an attempt in this round. So whether it comes off a caught leg kick, if you got to push him against the cage, you got to do something to try and, you know, take your opponent down in this one. Because not even attempting it, you know, he's missing out the best part of his game.
And you can see both guys landing with a nice left hook onto both each other's head. Again, EK Warrior using Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman being used by DirtyDave. DirtyDave standing his ground, trying to go his opponent in so he could disrupt that black cage. Try to use an uppercut, but a body shot will answer nicely from EK Warrior as EK Warrior dancing in and out of the pocket, able to land as he saw his opponent go for a body shot, and now that head help was blinking.
Yeah, and you can't do that if you're Usman. His kicks are the worst part of his game. They're so slow. Ooh, what a pullback shot in the body rips. EK Warrior with a strong showing right there, but as I was saying, you gotta be very careful throwing kicks with Usman.
Yeah, is this an octagon or a boxing ring? Because right now we're just seeing counter punch after counter punch from EK Warrior, doing such a nice job with his striking, especially with his blocks. It's slipping out of it, just in and out, working with his footwork. It's doing so nicely. And DirtyDave, he needs to come with an answer too. He tried to answer with a takedown, but he answers with a nice hook and uppercut. And DirtyDave is back in this fight.
Now, EK Warrior's life must have flashed before his eyes. That was the slowest hook I think I've ever seen in my life. DirtyDave was just a second away from capitalizing on it, but got a little scared and wasn't able to throw that last finishing blow.
Now back into an orthodox matchup that DirtyDave wants to be in. Tries to go for a body shot, but both guys think of the same thing. Not really getting the clean landing shots as they want. Block his
there we go.
Flip him like a flapjack, bring him to the center, walk him down and slam him down. That's what you see from DirtyDave as his stamina is low, but he gets a half guard position.
So we got him away from that cage, so we didn't have the sprawl get up or any of the things that come with the cage, but you saw his stamina was low, so he's instantly able to get into half guard. So, you know, you take and give with this game, but DirtyDave and half guard, I'd be surprised if he didn't hold this position for the rest. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of time to work with, right? A little over 90 seconds, second round. You have to think the first round may have gone to EK Warrior. This second round, especially with the striking he's been doing, along with a posture up, ground and pound, this is looking to be more DirtyDave's round, and that's what he loves to see, especially maybe going in the third round.
Wow, EK Warrior able to get up. I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. Once I saw him get out of half guard, I was impressed. So back to the feet, and you know, this is where Warrior wants to be at the end of the day with this clean right hook, and Usman's so hurt. Oh, the body's going down, the head's going down, everything. It's been a great showing for EK Warrior.
That's his fifth counter punch, and it's been landing so nicely. And now the black ace is leaking out, but DirtyDave is trying to answer back with punches of his own. Now you see Leon Edwards going for more strikes. He knows he has 20 seconds. He can put it away, but you can't count Kamaru Usman out. DirtyDave answering back, trying to get the revenge. He is falling in mid-air with 7 seconds left, not able to get the ground and pound. And we will go into a third, a final, and decisive round in this co-main.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't tell. Honestly, I thought Leon was going to take the round, but that huge run there by Usman at the end definitely stole it from him. I'm just a little worried about Usman's health. You know, it looks like even though Leon took some big hits in that round, Usman is taking the bulk of the damage. So even though he's landing these great shots, he's got to be careful. What I'd like to see from Usman is a counter on these kicks. You know, Leon's throwing that lead head kick, a well-timed overhand could end the fight.
It could end the fight, but will it be the end of the fight? We've seen these guys get up after rocking knockdowns. It could be 1-1, it could be 2-0. Who knows? You don't want to leave it to the judges. EK Warrior trying to land a spot, trying to get the boiler bonus in this co-main event. Uses the Leon Edwards, while DirtyDave trying to get the revenge, trying to get the run back, trying to prove that he is the one who is better in the Kamaru Usman under past a minute, that black gauge is fairly low for DirtyDave, and the overhand just misses his duck under. He tries to go for uppercut, but gets hit for trouble. EK Warrior needs to be very careful.
And I love that takedown, but even better denial by EK Warrior, and there's that front kick you're talking about. You know, he's timing it well, but like, you know, it only takes one shot for DirtyDave to counter on that, so he's got to be very careful.
Yeah, and you can see EK Warrior, he's working on the body a little bit more. He wants to make sure that he can open up the head by focusing on the body, while DirtyDave standing clear, standing precise, using those straights, making that head help blink so much every time he touches the head of Leon Edwards, while EK Warrior working on his footwork, trying to find his way to get another counter punch. That has been his bread and butter as an overhand landing, but the pull uppercut doesn't work. Kamaru Usman is still in his fight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I thought Usman was doing a good job of blitzing and timing in there, but the block is just so low for Usman. You really have to dodge those big strikes.
Yeah, these guys are fighting under tough circumstances. They want to make sure they prove who is the better fighter. And so far, hopefully, we get to see the end, because it's just been a hell of a fight. Head health blinking for DirtyDave, but he's still in his fight. Both guys have doctor badges in the orange. You can see in the top corners of both fighters. And EK Warrior trying to find his way in. But nice 1-2. Slowly as possible. We're hopefully going to get a decisive win in this contest. Fighting through the mud. Fighting through the adversity. You love to see it. Well, as much as we can see it. As we see a hook land from EK Warrior, throwing it out, trying to find his way. DirtyDave can't answer back. He's trying to load up an uppercut, but not able to land it. As 218 is left, has a nice uppercut, but not a hook that would give him a nice rock head kick landing. Not able to get it. EK Warrior is trying his best to find his way in.
When you're playing through these conditions, man, you just gotta throw, and that's what Leon's doing right now. He's being able to break through that block. And Usman has a hard time doing anything playing through this, you know, the lag and the things that's going on. So, you know, you gotta play the game at the end of the day. These things happen.
These things happen, but kudos for both of these fighters for trying their best to fight through it, to prove, to see who can actually be the better man in the respectable terms. DirtyDave tries to load up a left hook, but hesitates. And we see EK Warrior gets another rock for trouble. The body, the elbows, everything is blinking for DirtyDave on his possible last legs as we're under 90 seconds. The body shot landing from EK Warrior. Still moving forward as both guys fighting through the sludge. Still going through. The combination's coming in, but the pull not too close to get an answer back. Oh, but a slip and uppercut into the body there, Sats. It's been a bloodbath.
Yeah, DirtyDave's got to die in the shield, and that's exactly what he does. He goes down and out. EK Warrior with the finish. Shout out Leon Edwards.
Shout out Leon Edwards, headshot, dead. He gets a victory. EK Warrior becomes 8-3. But most importantly, respect for both of these fighters for finishing it out by any means possible and getting that fight done. Huge respect. But man, co-main, the first 2 rounds were a barn burner. In that 3rd round, it seemed like EK Warrior had the counter punch and was getting those hooks deservedly so.
And at the end of the day, I think both of those fighters were very well matched. It just came down to Usman's head health was just too low. He had to so worry about that so much that it opened up his body, and he couldn't counter strike effectively. And Leon just kept throwing those nice combos, those block breaking combos, and was able to, you know, finish the job there in the 3rd round.
Absolutely, and you know, it was co-main event. We're probably going to see them in the future, maybe in some exhibition cards in December, maybe some here and there, maybe like a little bit undisputed. They want to go console-wise. I mean, that's coming up too, because 175, we're not stopping the action from there before we go into our main event. 175, again, the main event, champ versus champ, Fatinator versus Go 1099. That is going to be a barn burner live on Twitch and on YouTube whenever the schedule comes out. I'm sure it will be announced in our Discord, which you should definitely sign up and be a part of the action, because you could be in the main event. Maybe you could be in a co-main. Maybe you could do some amazing stuff here as well. And the content doesn't stop there. ESFL 175 exhibition contest in December. Undisputed. Hey, we're looking at you. Maybe you could be a new undisputed champion. We had such a fun time last time we did season 4. I'm hoping that we could do even more of that. But man, a lot of great stuff coming from the ESFL. But Satch, people in the chat, people all around the world, I think it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for your main event of the evening. A lot of things at stake as it's EK Mixups, the #1 ranked fighter on the ESFL Xbox scene, going against BFAP Trickzzy, the #3 ranked fighter. A top 3 matchup in the fire selection screen, and especially in middleweight. This has the beautiful combination to be a fight of the night here, Savage.
I mean, these guys have more shared ring experience than a lot of guys have in the game. Over 1,100 fights between the two. That's not 110. 1,100 fights between the two of them. Mixups taking the bulk of the victories there. And, you know, Mixups is a guy I never doubted. At the start of the year, he started off 1-2. A lot of people said he was washed. He wasn't going to be able to come back and win. He's been 6-1 since that poor start to the year. You know, he's won the tourney. He's beaten almost everyone except for Fadnator. Both of these guys, once again, are great fighters. The Fadnator has been the doubt for him. And then also you look at Trixie, who was 1-4 and is now on a 5-fight win streak. So one streak is going to have to come to an end tonight.
Absolutely. This is the finale of the season finale. ESFL 173, your main event Mixups in the Izzy Adesanya pick. Izzy has been 0-2. Can he break that trend in the main event going against a Trixie who's using Alex Pereira, who's now 2-0? Can he do the opposite and not break his own trend? And being 3-0 with Alex Pereira, we'll have to find out. But this is a whole different type of combination. This is a whole different type of level of competition as both guys are going for the gold.
Yeah, this is a 5-round fight, but you wouldn't know it the way they're swinging. They're coming out aggressive, using all the tricks they got. These, like, once again, these guys have shared the ring so many times. They know everything that's going to be thrown at them. It's just how well can they execute a quick stun for Adesanya.
Mixups mixing up the head of Alex Pereira as Trixie needs to find a way to answer back and get his run back. But uppercuts like that from Mixups. He is doing such a nice job of answering back, just pulling in, pulling out, trying to find a nice executable option to strike against the head of Trixie, and Trixie needs to find a way to capitalize.
Yeah, and you know, Trixie, his head movement is what's made him so different from everybody else. But I'm going to keep walking back to this. When you play the guy 1,100 times, you get a feel for that head movement. As you see, Mixups has been, you know, timing his strikes well, been able to, you know, throw the counter hook at the right time, the uppercut at the right time. So, you know, at some point, Trixie might have to mix something up and do something a little unorthodox to get the jump on Mixups.
Absolutely, and we'll have to see, because again, it's not 3 rounds, it's 5 rounds of war that you could easily implement, but counter punches like that will get Trixie back in the fight. But he needs to watch out for the duck under, because Mixups is finding his opportunities. He's finding slips. He's able to go dip in, dip out. Gets a nice 1-2 for his troubles, leading with a straight first. That black ace being low for Trixie. Trixie measuring it. My goodness, you can cut the tension with a knife as both guys are slipping for their lives.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you got to do when you're Adesanya, though. You gotta play with the slips. You can't go in a firefight with a guy like Alex Pereira. You will end up asleep, like Adesanya's done the 2 times he's fought him. So you know, you got to be careful when you're playing with a guy like Pereira, playing against a guy like Pereira, I should say.
Absolutely, and both guys went for slips, but one was able to execute, and that was Trixie getting some nice combinations for his trouble as well. Mixups, center of the octagon, going high and low, working on the body a little bit. Gets a nice 1-2 because he got his opponent thinking about the body. Trixie trying to answer back, but again, it just seems like he needs to get more into the phone booth and not try to play distance fight against this Izzy.
Yeah, I agree, but I'd like to see, I think there's a lot of openings for kicks between the two guys. I haven't seen any, you know, body kicks, leg kicks, or anything like that. It doesn't have to be a big shot. It doesn't have to be the teeth to the head, but just something to throw in there to manage the range a little bit. You know, Mixups, I think, obviously won that first round through his great boxing.
Yeah, and we saw the total strikes landed. It was 37-34 in favor of Trixie, but the stun and the significant strikes were in favor of Mixup. So we saw the uppercut, we saw the left hook. That's what rocked Trixie a little bit, and Mixup did that early on in the beginning of that first round. Can he do it again in the second round? Because now you can give up a round, right? You can like lose 2 rounds and still have a way to come back. But the way they're executing, we might not even see a 3rd round if they keep going at this pace here, Satch.
Yeah, you know, Alex Pereira's got the cut nose, and that's going to affect his stamina regeneration. So that happening so early in the fight, in a 5-round fight, could be very impactful later down the road if he keeps getting popped up by these jabs.
And he's getting popped up as soon as we said the word go, because 15 seconds in the game clock, and we saw that busted nose just working to the detriment of Trixie as he's trying to find his way back, but slips like that, just misses. It's not going to pan out well for him.
You know, it's something I noticed about Mixups. You know, the first 90 seconds of a round, he comes out, you know, as fast as lightning, and then he kind of slows down, and once he gets that quick advantage, he starts to idle a little bit. So, you know, maybe Alex Pereira can take advantage of that and go whenever he takes his foot off the gas and try and land a big strike.
It's like you move, I move. It's like a tennis match that we're seeing. Mix-Ups is able to get a nice counter punch, able to answer nicely with a body uppercut in the landing back, but you don't want to go into a train like that because Mix-Ups able to get a knockdown. Oh my God! Make him bend to his knee to the king of Mix-Ups because he just made him crown himself the king of the knockdowns as he gets back-to-back ones.
And you know, if you something you notice right there, Adesanya got right up to his feet. Obviously, probably would have been smarter for him to hang out on the ground a little bit and keep the control and win this round, but I'm sure it's a gentleman's agreement. You know, whenever you have a good friend like this, or, you know, a lot of respect in opponents, it's not rare to see the guys just get right up and say, let's duke it out like men.
Yeah, and you said, like, what, 1,000 fights? Well, this might be the 1,100 fight, but man, they're pulling the pool party because Mix-Ups is still headhunting. He's still going after him. Trying to take his time, trying to bring in the center octagon, but he's not getting the full effect of it yet. Oh, but gets another one. Right hook for each other. Uppercut again. 4 knockdowns. Will this be the dagger?
And maybe I lied. Maybe there is going to be some grappling in this matchup. I mean, right now, his head health is so low. A good posture up and 2 strikes to finish it.
Yeah, but we saw earlier in the card, you get hit a lot, but then you get that one submission with 35 seconds, and you're able to turn the whole fight on its head. But you see, you hear the referee, he might stand him back up. Maybe if we see Mix-Ups want to make it to a stand-up as we go into the half guard position.
I mean, you can see the reason he's doing these little tip taps is look at his head health right here. 2 strikes and it could be it, but Adesanya doesn't want to finish it that way. He wants a spectacular knockout. We know Mix-Ups is known for the spectacular. Let's see what we can see here.
Here we go. 105 left in the second round. Mix-Ups trying to seal the deal on the Xbox season for the ESFL of this current year. Meanwhile, Trixie trying to go for a flying knee, but all he will get is blood, sweat, and tears in the bottom of the octagon, because it is EK Mixups becoming 8-3 and getting the victory.
And that's a night-night. I mean, we all knew the knockout was coming. It was only how Trixie Swifts went for the the flying knee there. Went for the flying knee there, but the straight put him right to sleep.
Man, that's what you love to see. You love to see a knockout finish out the season finale. But man, oh man, it seemed like Trixie had his chances in the first round, but Mix-Ups knockdown after knockdown, the clean striking from the get-go. It was just an unstoppable force, and man, I would love to see him fight again. Maybe he has a chance to be on the ESFL 175 card. I'm just saying, matchmakers, make it happen. He had such a clean, precise performance, especially in the second round. He didn't even need 5 rounds. He did it in the second round right there.
And but you know, to go, but down because there's already he's gonna be he's already lost. Now he's just got to prove why he deserves a second chance.
Absolutely, he deserves a second chance, and man, I can't wait to see what he does more because it's been such a magnificent card. We had upsets, we had submissions, we had decisions that were a little was right, but it could have gone back and forth. If we love to see it. Now, if we're talking about fight of the night, man, I think I'm gonna need to go back at this card and just like rewatch it again because we had so many crazy moments. But if you had an idea, what would be your fight?
This is probably gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna say Ozzy and Evo Panda. That was the Nate Diaz matchup we saw. I mean, what a spectacular fight! I wrote Evo'd out. I thought he lost an 8. He had looked so great, but it was just the win. Armbar submission up, full out arm finish the fight. So that's gotta be my pick.
You know what? I love it. Was he's still even with 35 is that total upset of possible whole season because Ozzy came, but Ozzy had a great performance as well. So congratulations to both of you guys getting the victory, getting But man, what a of like outside. We're not connected. Like I want is gonna be even better.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys for so much. Hey, that's what you guys chat. You post if you want to. That's we're good. Good one.